wield the ultimate power in the universe.
Last we will reveal ourselves.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You are now tuned into LightSaber Radio. If you only knew the power of gods.
Here it comes.
Let's go.
You are now tuned into LightSaber Radio. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello there.
Welcome to LightSaber Radio, the most outrageous Star Wars show on the web. If you haven't already done it, make sure you smash that subscribe button as well as the bell icon so you will be notified of all of our future episodes. Also, don't forget to press that like button. It helps get these videos in front of other Star Wars fans so they can get in on the outrageousness. So how's everyone doing today?
Good.
Good.
I'm still dead. I'm so tired.
I'm in a good mood. My
After the
shirt,
show.
my shirts from
sorry.
Only Hope Supply came in, so I'm pretty stoked. I got my Echo
that's another
shirt.
thing. So
I like
probably as soon as I get back from my daughter's graduation, so just to let everybody know, I'll be on the show. Hopefully I'll be on the show. If not, I'll be streaming from my damn phone if I have to. But I think her graduation is at the same time as the show, so I might come on for a little bit. I don't know how everything's gonna work out. We'll have to see. But the 20th, I think, May 20th or 21st, whatever day it is, whatever that Saturday is my daughter's graduation, so I might not be here.
Wednesday of this coming up week, I will have some surprises for the fans on our social medias and hopefully be on the show with some surprises. So keep an eye out. Make sure to tune in.
There's never an excuse for us to miss an entire show and we have cell phones. Technology is amazing. No, I joke. I'm just messing with you. Don't take it all personal.
Man, you used to
CJ.
you used to hurry up and get your computer and your microphone so you could stop using your phone. Now I have my setup, and you're like, you can use your phone, bro. I used my phone for the first 2 months, my guy.
Yeah, but it's the idea of getting better. You're supposed to get better shit, and then you use a cell phone at the last resort. Like Kim is using her cell phone. It's cool. Well, her shit is working good. She got you got an iPhone?
You got an iPhone, huh? Yeah.
That's why your picture's so damn clear. I got a Samsung. My picture looks like shit.
Oh yeah, so did mine.
Yeah.
Well, and the lighting in here is really good.
Yeah,
like my dad's got a nice setup. Like it's mint.
Oh yeah, you are at your dad's place again, huh?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, that's dope.
He went all out in that room, huh? He went and got some bougie lights where it makes everything just pop just right, and
you have no idea.
Everything's leveled out just perfectly.
It
if anything's
is.
moved, he gets yeah, I know what's up.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Bodie. How you guys doing today? Is it Bodie or is it Body? Like, have we been saying this? I think it's Body, just spelled I-E instead of with a Y. Body collection.
That just sounds a lot worse. I like Bodie.
Scary. Yeah, let's just say Bodie.
Yeah, I like Bodie.
We've been saying this wrong this whole time. But if we have, we're sorry. You know, I didn't really ever
and we
read
still
it.
appreciate you being in the chat and watching us. That's all that matters.
We're always here. I love it. I love it.
So today, the topic that we're going to be covering is like useless scenes in Star Wars movies. Like some of these scenes were just like, why were they there? Like, I don't get it. Like, it didn't really have anything to do with. So that's what we're going to be covering. But first, Garrison's going to hit us with a hop breaker, all puns intended. And we're going to get through that. What you got, Garrison?
I thought you forgot, but I'm so happy.
I didn't forget. I forgot.
He's so happy right now.
Okay.
He's like, I worked so hard on these, and then you just forgot to bring them up. That sucks. You asshole.
All right, we got. Has anyone seen Point Break? I've never seen Point Break.
Yeah, I've seen Point Break, but it's been like years ago that I've seen it. Now,
is it Bodie or Body?
It's Bodie, like Bodie.
That still didn't help me. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So we were right. We were right. Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
I'm stupid. All right. Red pill or blue pill? Red pill has got Bad Batch, Clone Wars, and Star Wars Resistance. Blue pill has got Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, and Rebels. Which one are you taking?
Oh God, man! So they both got two good things, and then they both got two sucky. Got one sucky thing. So it's like, which one?
You better check it.
I'm going red.
Red? Oh yeah.
I gotta go red.
Come on.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm wearing an Echo shirt. What do you think, man? I'm a clone
Or
guy. I
out.
love Clone Wars.
I'd have to go, and this is gonna go against like everything because I don't like the blue side. I like the red side. I'm a Sith, but I'm gonna have to go blue because the Mandalorian is just the shit to me. I don't think there is anything like Dude, Mandalorian is so dope. The writing is so dope. Well, we'll see what happens in season 3 because they might fuck it up. But
Nah.
season 1 and 2
No.
was fucking awesome. And we
I
got
think they're
Luke
gonna
back.
come out.
We got Ahsoka. We got Luke. We got it was just man. We got Boba Fett back. We got just
I think they're gonna come out swinging a lot heavier in season 3.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna have
I
to.
realized something yesterday. So I'm watching. I'm going through Rebels. I'm watching Rebels, and I'm watching I watched like a episode of the Clone Wars, and then I watched like an episode of Rebels. Do you know now? Because we all been thinking like, all right, they brought back Palpatine. You know what I'm saying? But technically, they brought back Boba Fett. But technically, the first person that they brought back from death was Ahsoka. Remember, Ezra rips her out of takes her out of that.
Yeah, she did
Out
at
of
the
that
world
time
between
warp thingy.
worlds.
That was the first time that Star Wars brought somebody back, and I'm glad they brought back Ahsoka because Ahsoka's dope as shit.
What about Maul? No.
Oh, not that. Maybe
Maul.
Maul.
Maul was the
yeah, it
first.
would be Maul. Oh yeah, it would
Yeah.
be Maul because he
Maul
was
was the
cut in half first. Oh, yeah.
Like, how do we forget that?
Yeah, how do I
I
forget
didn't.
Maul? But because I was watching them there, I watched that Ahsoka series where Ezra brings Ahsoka back, and I was like, dude, this is
Yeah.
like the first time, but it's not. Actually, Maul was the first time because it happened in Clone Wars. So yeah, oh god, who else do you think they're gonna bring back? Hey, there's a lot of news running around that they're bringing back Mace for the Mandalorian. Some rumors. There's definitely some
Yes.
rumors going on that they're bringing back Mace in the next series of the Mandalorian.
I'm
Let
okay
it
with that.
happen.
I'm okay with it.
I
I
just
like
don't
Mace.
get.
I mean, I don't like him. I think
Die.
he's a dick. He's a dick, but I think it would make things very interesting.
Come on,
Step
Samuel
aside,
Jackson can't play no
citizen.
nice guy. That just doesn't fit. He got to be that fuck you guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's who he is.
Yes.
And that's exactly his attitude in Star Wars. Like, wait a minute, you're beneath me. Hold up.
Exactly.
I am
Yeah.
underneath Yoda. It's Yoda. It's all that's better than me. Ain't nobody else
Yeah.
better than me. And just Yoda's a billion years old. That's the only reason he's better than me. If I could let him
Yeah.
be fucking 700 years old, I'd be better than you too. Better than him too. I don't know. That was a good icebreaker though. Now, if you think about it, because them and some myth like Resistance is just terrible.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
why really Resistance is the worst one out of all of them. Like Resistance is just like
I haven't even seen Resistance, so I
Don't.
won't. I won't.
Don't.
I mean,
ever.
don't waste your
watch
time.
it.
Yeah.
Watch it just to watch it. But you're gonna be like, damn, is this thing any
Dude.
boringer than it can get? Like it's boring.
us-
It's like the
But
things
maybe
just.
for
Go ahead.
oh, that's sorry. No, you're good.
Oh,
go-
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, yeah, it's probably boring for us, but maybe like if you're
Nope, nope.
introducing a kid to Star Wars, they'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, this is cool. This is light.
Introduce
you know?
them to some better characters then. Far out.
Yeah,
the
right?
storyline-
Okay, let me rephrase
Jeez.
this. Let me rephrase my state. It's not that I hate Resistance.
Mhm.
I just really, really dislike Resistance. It was definitely not made for adults at all. It was
Right.
definitely a kid show. And it was definitely some of the most boringest. Like the action in it is even boring. I was like, dude, this is boring. This is action and it's boring. How's the action boring? It never one time got me to a point where I was like,
Interested?
yeah, excited. Like I didn't get
Yeah.
excited.
I didn't make it. I tried, but I couldn't make it.
Tori
Tori. No, he
says
never died.
wasn't Vader. Yeah, he never died. We never seen him. He never actually died. He just had his arms and legs chopped off and was caught on fire. He was still alive. Obi-Wan left him. He was alive, and then by the time Palpatine got there, he was still alive. He never really
Yeah.
died. So yeah. And actually, if you really want to get technical, the first person they brought back to maybe not to life, but brought back as a character was Obi-Wan, because the Force Ghost. That was their first attempt at bringing somebody back into as a character,
That's
Like-
fair.
because he died
Yeah.
in episode 30 in 1977, and he was alive or a ghost in, you know what I'm saying, 80 when they brought out Empire Strikes Back. So it would definitely be Obi-Wan if we really want to get technical. But the first person they brought back to life was
Right.
Maul. I think.
Actually, the first person that was brought back to life was Jesus, but that's okay. I'm just kidding.
Well, welcome to the TED Talk.
So, getting to today's topic,
Fuck,
and I'm gonna
actually,
let y'all. I'm gonna mute myself after I get done. You know, with this little part or with this thing, because I need to. We're kind of lacking on the social medias. I ain't popped it up on no social medias. There are some scenes in Star Wars that we all watching. Like, what first? If it's not impossible, or it's just not like, why is this here? It doesn't have anything to do with the story. You know, it didn't change the story one bit, or it's just something that's a filler. What are some of y'all's scenes that you just looked at Star Wars like, why did you do this? Like, why? Like, what was the purpose of you making this scene? Like, what does it have to do with the storyline? What would be your guys' favorites?
You mean besides the entire sequel trilogy?
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, are we adding characters? What was the purpose of Rey? What was her purpose at all?
Hey, come on.
But what was y'all?
It's actually Father Garrison or Daddy Garrison, not Brother Garrison.
Canto
But
beat.
nice try.
Yeah.
I'm going with, and I feel bad for saying this because I don't hate the sequels, but Chewie's death, there's no reason for it. Like,
We died.
you know,
I'm just
a
kidding.
couple minutes later,
We don't went
they're
to
like,
Legends
"Oh,
on this one."
Chewie's alive. Chewie's alive. Oh, okay, cool." But his death, I think, served no purpose at all. And that's just me. Maybe I'm biased because I love Chewie, but still, it was stupid to me.
I think it was kind of CJ. We're not in
I'm
elementary school.
I'm being polite, okay?
Okay, say what you got to say. I got to do this.
Okay.
Right
I was stuck between two, but the one that really gets me is the bridge scene where Kylo goes to blow it up, but does it, and they still don't kill Leia off.
Oh,
That
I know
scene
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That scene
Where she
made
lives?
no
Oh,
sense.
that
No
pissed me off
sense. Carrie
so
Fisher
much.
had already passed away. That was a hell of a way for a send-off. They're like, nope, we're gonna keep her
Oh,
alive and
man.
CGI her for a whole nother a movie and a half. No,
Oh, man.
that is a hell of a way to do it. You should have had Kylo kill her off. It should have been emotional. But no, you're like, oh, use the Force, survive through fucking outer space.
And it would have been a thing if like it happened like instantly, but like they took you through this long, drawn out part where she just floating in space.
Oh my
Her
gosh.
body would have been like all the oxygen and water and
It was
everything
so
would have.
bad.
She would have froze. Everything would have came out so fast. There's no way. Like if they would have done it real quick, it would have been like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't believe Jedi can do that. The only Jedi that's just been walking around outer space was in the Clone Wars, and that was Plo Koon. Because he had his mask so he could survive for a little bit. But that still didn't make any sense in reality because your water and all the air in your body will be sucked out and it'd be terrible. You're going to die. It's going to be real bad.
It just aggravated
Hasn't anybody
me.
seen Total Recall when they got stuck on space and their eyeballs started getting all bulging out and all that? That shit was like, oh, God. That's what it would have been like. So
I know why they hesitated with Kylo because I think that he wasn't her. I think that's why, but I think the entire scene was just kind of. I'd have to agree. I don't understand it. You probably could have made that movie and not done that scene.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It felt like because that scene was kind of important to Kylo's story arc. It felt like they never knew where they were going with Kylo.
Right.
Like even when they were writing, they didn't. It's like they were like showing it as they were coming up with the ideas instead of like having it all planned out. It's like they were coming up with it and immediately after putting it on screen. Like they were
Well,
just
the books supposedly
making it up as they went along.
isn't the books that I haven't read them yet, but apparently the books dive deeper into Kylo. Apparently, I mean, I haven't read them, but if that's the case, you know, I'd love to learn more about him because he's a cool character.
I think he was a cool character that was just like poorly executed in the movie.
Right. Yeah.
honestly, I don't think Adam Driver's a good actor, in my opinion. That's just
I don't
my
like him
opinion. A
either.
lot of people like him as an actor. They think he's great. I think he's lacking, and I think he still needs a few more movies under his belt to build up his acting career. Build up his because like certain times when it's like almost like he was supposed to be saying something and it took longer than it needed to take. Like he had to think about his lines or something like that. It just kind of threw off the momentum of his parts, and then some of his facial expressions is just like, okay, that didn't match what you were saying or the scene. But I do think that I just think that Kylo in that scene, it was like, I agree with CJ. They should have just killed her off. They should have just let her be done. I mean, there was no reason.
This should have been Carrie Fisher's last part. Like that would have been an emotional moment. Everybody was already gut wrenched when it happened. They're like, oh, this is how they're gonna do her. Oh man, and everybody, like, I was kind of emotional. I was like, she's gonna go, and then
Shell
the whole and you had the emotion factor behind it, where her body is sent out into space, and she's gonna, they're probably obviously gonna go and grab it and give her a proper burial, but she's finally at peace. She's where she should be, and they're like, nope, we're gonna drag her back in, and we're gonna get her for one more movie. We got to milk the cow one last time on this.
What you got to really think about it, if you look at the scenes with her in Rise of Skywalker, that's some of the best CGI I've seen.
Oh,
They
yeah.
look way better than Luke in
For sure.
Mandalorian.
Well, didn't they hire YouTubers by the end of, because people were bitching about Luke, then apparently Disney saw these YouTubers who deep faked him so well that they hired him. I don't know if that's true or accurate, but
that's true.
They're on
that. But this one, you got to understand, this is also a lot of time different. But I don't think they had a stand-in for her.
Yes, they did. They used her daughter. Yeah, they used her daughter as a stand-in, and then they CGI'd everything. She talks about it in an interview.
Her daughter don't even look like her.
She's the same height as her mother, though. So
they did a good job on that. Like, this is really,
it was good.
Like, I couldn't tell the difference.
She talks about it in an interview, and they ask her, I'm like, how emotional was it to be the stand-in for your mom in those scenes? And she's like, honestly, I tried to not break down every time I had to put on an outfit that my mom would wear. And I was like, ooh, fuck off. That's not funny. You're playing with my heartstrings.
Yep.
Couldn't imagine that.
That would be something terrible. That would be just, What about you, Garrison? What do you think?
Well, besides the sequels, because I could have a whole episode just about everything I hate about the sequels. Like, you guys don't understand how much I hate the sequels.
So spiteful.
But
because
I'm not allowing myself to talk about the sequels, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion. Like, y'all are going to hate me. I'm just waiting for the comment section to explode. But the Ewoks, man.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You're right.
Really?
No. I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you.
Oh,
no.
I thought you said you're right. I was like, oh, my God.
Okay,
no.
so
No, I'm not done. She just shut up.
I was just going to say I agree, but disagree at the same time with you. Like, I agree that they were not something.
Right. I'm okay with the idea of the Ewoks and with the inclusion of the Ewoks, but the execution of them was kind of shitty. Like, if you would have done some, like, crazy, like, drop bear, like, coming out of the trees, like, attacking, like, just put, like little, like, I don't know, like steroid little teddy bears, like that are just like jacked, like running around like motherfuckers and like just But instead they were like throwing rocks and using like slingshots and shit. And I'm like, these stormtroopers have armor. What is happening right? Yeah. So they could have been badass, but instead they were just kind of weird.
I have to agree with that. I love the Ewoks. Don't get me wrong. I like Wicket. And I think they're adorable, but like when you're in armor and you're getting hit by rocks, what's stopping you from just grabbing your blaster and just putting a hole through that teddy bear?
You're a stormtrooper and you can't aim.
What's stopping me from shooting near it? Damn you! And scaring it, but I don't get me wrong. It was that moment with Wicket and Leia. That was a very iconic moment. That was a good
Mm-hmm.
It still shows that she has that humanity even
Yeah.
through wartime. And I loved that because that was important to the fans. It was important that, yeah, you went to a strange ass planet and now these Ewoks are going to try and cook you, Han and Luke and Chewie. And 3PO's got this, I can't pretend to be a god kind of complex, even though he acts like one when it comes to everything else with his knowledge. And it's just, I don't know. I like some of the ideas, like the tree, the logs going in and hitting that ATST and spears. I mean, you can kill a stormtrooper with a spear. You just got to aim for a spot that's not with armor. But I don't think those 4'2" teddy bears are accurate.
Yeah. I think it would have been so. I agree
That
with
would-
Star Wars
yeah.
Commander. It would be cool if they ripped stormtroopers open with claws or something. Like, dude, 100%. Like, you know the feeling you get when you're playing like Ewok
Ewok
Hunt on
Oh,
Battlefront
yes.
2? I
Terror.
want that in a movie. I want that fear. Like, oh my god, there's a million of them. They're
I gotta
jumping
find
at me.
that damn
Why-
page with that story behind it so I can send
Why
it to you
didn't
guys.
they do that? You know,
Chris-
like why didn't they add that terror into the
Yeah.
movies? Because that would have been cool. Then whatever.
Like-
I love the Ewoks though, so
These
I
little
don't.
things that look so cute are like vicious psychopath
Yeah.
killers. Like,
Chris says Snoke's entire existence was a waste of time.
I agree with that. I agree
Yeah.
with that. I feel like Snoke had potential too. Snoke had potential too, but everything just
shit.
got. Oh fuck.
I agree with Kim on the fact of like Chewie getting like. Did you already say that, Kim?
What?
Yeah,
You say your
shoot.
part. Didn't you
Killed?
go first?
Getting killed. Yeah.
Getting killed.
Yeah.
Because it was like without him getting killed, it didn't make a difference because he still was captured. So it was like, what was the point
Yeah.
of this? Like you kill him, what emotional just disturbance to Rey for helping Rey figure out that she's like in tune with the dark side because she could use
Right.
force lightning, or I mean, it was like a whole bunch of waste of time. You still had to go to the other city. You still had to get his
Exactly.
CP3Os or C3POs, mind so he could get the Sith out. You know what I'm saying? You still had to do all this stuff. Then when you was there, you could have still sensed Chewie and been like, Chewie's on that ship. I can go there. That was just like a big waste of time. Now here goes some that will. I'm gonna name them off, and then y'all tell me because one of them CJ said, but the other one is what is the point of the Jawa scene, and when they get blasted and Luke thinks that it was done by the Sand People, and Obi-Wan is like, no, this was Imperial stormtroopers. They're too accurate of shots, but. Through the whole trilogy, they don't hit shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, dude,
Right.
what's the point of that scene? Why would you even say that? Like, y'all could have just they could have literally just pulled up and seen them on fire and need to be like, the Empire was here. And that we could have eliminated that whole scene. That whole scene could have just went away. There was no point in it.
Right.
That was one of mine. Then the other one was the no scene with Palpatine, where he's like, no. There was no point in that scene. Like, there was nobody ever said, why does Palpatine look like shit later on? Like, he's older. You know what I'm saying? That's why he looks like crap.
No, that was a great scene. I love that scene.
No fan. Like, the scene of being like the rest of the scene was great. But that point in that scene was just, or that part was just
No.
Gave us some of the most golden Star Wars quotes ever. Are you kidding me? No, you have lost.
Because not one fan ever said back and said, well, in Return of the Jedi, he's like all messed up and wrinkly. He's old, that's why. Nobody questioned that. Nobody ever said, we got to explain why he looks the way he looks. And then they made him look 20 times worse than he did originally. So it's like that whole scene was pointless.
He was so bad.
Henceforth, you shall be known as Darth Vader.
I saw him in the prequels, and then when he transformed and stuff, I'm like, ugh.
Bro, you be looking like a nutsack. Shush. You don't get to tell me no.
Oh, jeez.
Go
Like,
put yourself back in the pair of pants. I don't need to hear you talk.
that scene was just like that part was like pointless for him to like electrocute himself. You know what I'm saying? All he had to do was like Anakin could have came in, they could have made the little dialogue, and then he was like, "No, I'm gonna kill him," and just went to kill him, and Anakin could cut it with Mace's hand off, and then Palpatine could have shot him out the window. They didn't need the whole scene where he's electrocuting the thing and just killing himself. Like, you know, like that was pointless. It was just dumb. Like, why did they put this in here?
I'll allow it.
Oh wow.
I gotta
Star
agree.
Wars team leader said Jar Jar.
You're
Jar
making
Jar.
some great points. But...
hey, leave Jar Jar alone, okay? I don't want to hear it. No Jar Jar hate here. At least right here in my corner of the screen.
Bro, have you seen that Robot Chicken where Jar Jar and like Jar Jar's with Darth Vader? He's like, I knew. Dude, it was a.
And he takes the helmet off to see his face.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
freaks out.
What's happened to you, Annie?
I like the one, you know, the really long neck. I don't know what species they are, but he's part of the Jedi Council, and he leaves to go get pizza and comes back, and he's like hopping in chairs, acting like everybody. Hate leads to power, and power leads to not letting anybody ever talk. Every time I see anything Robot Chicken with Star Wars, it just cracks me up.
God damn.
Like
another
Emperor?
scene that I thought was just pointless was the Luke and Leia. They're getting chased by the things, and they run behind they run past the door, and then he uses the thing to swing across.
Yeah.
I thought that was just like the most worthless scene ever, because like you got like 5 stormtroopers just shooting at you. They're not hitting you. They're all rushing and shit. Like, why are you rushing? These dudes are suck. They ain't even hit the door one time. The door is giant, and they ain't even hit that. You just like you just be cool. You know what I'm saying? Take your time. It's not like they're even close to hitting you.
Or the kiss.
For luck. It was for luck. It's
was for
necessary.
luck.
And you know,
Even
The
if she
swing
was
was
trying to make
important.
Han jealous, like she could have done it with somebody else.
Kiss
Not
Chewie.
her brother.
Just kiss
Yeah,
Chewie.
Chewie.
That would have just needed years of arguments. Yes, Chris, that's what I was talking about. The robot chicken scene with Palpatine on the escalator. Emperor? Stormtrooper? Stormtrooper?
I wonder how many I wonder if Palpatine used to just practice his electrifying his force abilities on the stormtroopers. Like, hey, get 2 stormtroopers up here right quick. Let me
Go get 5 of the worst ones you got, and I'll get rid of them for you.
Yep.
Like, because, you know, throughout the movies, we always see Darth getting mad at everybody. You know, he kills everybody. We don't ever see Palpatine kill anybody. He doesn't, like, every time you see him, he's not getting mad. He's not yelling at nobody. He doesn't care. He's not killing anybody. Like, dude, you're the head of the Sith.
How did he
Yeah, I was
don't
gonna say,
kill
is he really a Sith? Like,
what is he doing? And then they don't give him, like, I think that they should have gave him more scenes in the original trilogy. Because he's only in, like, he's not in that many scenes, and it's like, dude, and then Darth just kills him. So it's like, dude, like, he doesn't like get mad at nobody. He does like you're like the leader of you're the emperor, and you're the Sith master, and you don't kill anybody. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Man? That's like against the whole nature of the Sith. Like, you're supposed to kill people, you know, especially once you take over the entire galaxy. You know, I guess he kills like, you know, a bunch of people, but it's other people killing him because he told them to. He's not doing it himself, and it just was like at least Darth Vader like chokes some people out and, you know, throws some people against walls and stuff and kills them that way, you know. But Palpatine don't kill nobody.
Chris, why do you keep pulling up the robot chicken? Stormtrooper, what's your operating number? Stormtrooper, it's FK12. Eat my ass as he's pressing the elevator button. Oh
man, I gotta watch that now.
It's on I believe HBO Max, yeah. And oh man, I just
pull it up on YouTube. I guarantee it's on YouTube.
Oh yeah, it's on YouTube.
I've seen him. I'm just gonna rewatch him.
I don't like watching like a 2-minute clip of like a few scenes. I like watching the whole like 30-minute episode.
I bet you can watch it. I bet you can go on there. You can find a whole 30-minute episode on there.
Well, they have them on HBO Max. You can watch all
I ain't got HBO Max, man. I only got Disney Plus. That's all I watch. I don't watch anything else other than Disney Plus and Netflix. I'm
I
lying
don't
because
know.
I'll be watching the CW because I'll be watching.
I was like, what you talking about? You be watching Flash.
I watch Flash, which I haven't seen none of the latest episodes of Flash. I don't know. It's kind of got stupid.
I haven't either because once Arrow, like that whole Arrow arc dropped, I was kind of like, I don't know. Arrow, Green Arrow, my guy, so I don't know if I can stick around.
Like I watched all the way up to like the end of season 7, but or season 6 or whatever season we're on now. I watched up to the end of the last season and I watched the first couple episodes of this season. I was like, hey, what's going on?
Chris, do you
But
have
when
any more though? Any more of the scenes that you can think of? Because I can't think of anything. My favorite one is that one with that the guy, a part of the council that gets sent to go do all the errands and comes back and the whole Jedi temple's on fire and he does that whole Yoda bit. That was like my favorite scene.
Could you imagine just for like a quick second, like just imagine you're like a librarian that's not a Jedi, and you get off work and you go home, and then you come back and like the whole Jedi temple is just on fire and just gone. You're like, what the hell? All I did is go home from work. What happened at the time that I went home? Like I have no idea what the hell is going on. You start
I'd be
calling
the
people.
one. I'd be like, oh, did I forget to turn the light on?
Did
Did I
Did I
blow
do
out
that
that
microwave
candle?
on? Did I forget to turn the coffee pot on? Oh, I hope this isn't my fault.
But like in the Clone Wars, they have those people that they like hire. Obviously,
Yeah.
we have that whole arc where it's the bombing and it leads into Ahsoka's interrogation and stuff. Just imagine being one of those guys in like one of the maintenance halls. Goes home, loves on his wife and his kids, and has a normal night. Comes back and he's like, "Fuck, what I do?" Because he's that one guy that if it's gonna blow up or something's gonna be broken, he's that one guy at work that probably did it. That's
Yep.
probably. Oh man, that would just be.
Yeah, I
Or
don't
just
know.
imagine being a Jedi stuck on the outer rim. All this stuff happens. You finally return, and Palpatine's sitting up there because he made it his own personal house. Oh,
Bodhi makes a great point.
hi.
What'd you say?
I said Bodhi makes a great point. HBO Max is better than Netflix now, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
This isn't related,
say so.
but I kind of agree.
There's
Yeah.
Palpatine's phone call scene. Yes, I know. What do you mean the Death Star's gone? What the hell's an aluminum falcon? How about you get your 6'6" asthmatic ass back here?
Oh man.
Oh, there's a whole Seth Green's writing is just top tier sometimes when it comes to jokes. And I love that they brought him into the Clone Wars and he was a voice actor in the Clone Wars, and then George Lucas allowed him to do all these things on Robot Chicken throughout the years.
Well, I don't know if George Lucas allowed him. George Lucas just didn't care about people doing other shit. He just didn't like it. Wasn't affecting his shit. Only thing he said no to was Mara J. He was like, no,
So
don't
there's
nobody do that.
a interview with Michael Rosenbaum with Seth Green. I don't know if you guys know who Michael Rosenbaum is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sounds so familiar.
He was talking to him. He's like, George didn't care what people did in the beginning, but I felt like out of respect, I had to go to George and ask to make fun of the property he loves so much. Same thing with Indiana Jones. I wanted the okay from him. That way we can do what we want, and I don't feel like I'm offending George. And
Right.
he showed George everything before he put it out on that Star Wars special episode. And he's like, I've never seen George Lucas laugh so hard in my life. He thought that shit was fire. Like, he was just rolling. I was like,
George
man,
was just like, I don't know why a lot of people make George to be an asshole, out to be an asshole. He was probably the best part when it came to Star Wars, because he was like, dude, make what you want, like enjoy it. Like that's why I created it, for everybody to enjoy.
I
Like,
thought he was
what's the
chill.
point of making some shit and then just
Mhm.
that's it? You know what I'm saying? Like everybody make shit off of it. I don't care. Like write books, write. You know what I'm saying? He didn't care about none of that shit. That's why he called everything else is expanded universe, and my stuff is canon. That's it. And that's how he was. He was cool with it though. He wanted people to enjoy Star Wars. So anything that was made up for Star Wars, the only thing he was like no is when they asked him about making Mara Jade. He was like, no, 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 and some people just wrote her in the books anyway, but they were like, no, no. He was like, no. But I think when it came to the books, and people just didn't really care
Yeah.
what George thought. I mean,
Bodie, I think he would. I think because
Yeah.
Seth Green's a part of the Family Guy
There's an
family.
author on TikTok, and she recently wrote a book, and she literally had to go through everything, and they would say go or no go. So mainly what he would say is no main character usage, like I think like big ones like Luke and all of them, she wasn't allowed to use those. I think she was able to use Ahsoka, but that
what
took
was it?
some finagling.
But was that coming from George or was that coming from
It came from the
Disney?
author.
I
And
mean,
I
from
think she
but
I
I would
don't know. I want to say it might have been Disney.
yeah, because
It might have been
Disney's on
Disney.
since 2004,
Yeah.
2013 or 14. So
14.
It's been a while, so it
yeah,
might be.
yeah, it was probably if she wrote it any time in the past
But yeah.
10 years, it was from Disney. And Disney don't want nobody to do crap. You
No.
got to take everything through Disney. Disney's like they're just kind of
They're killing the creative buzz that George allowed people to have. Like I loved going into the library and having 60 different books from 60 different authors.
dude. Do you know how many Star Wars books there are? I got like 280, and I don't have them all. Like
Yeah. There's a lot.
there's so many Star Wars books, and then like every time I think that I'm getting close to like having all of them, I find out there's like 50 more that was written by this other person that I ain't ever even heard of. Like, where these books come from? Oh my God! They're like, oh. And then some of them is very, very like if you want the actual paperback books, if you want actual paper, some of the books are very hard to get a hold of. I'll be having to do some real internet searching to find somebody to have these books. Because some of the books is like they're not known and there was only so many copies made and they just didn't really do good. I've like read some of the books that like didn't even like they sold like 120 copies total, like all together. But the book is amazing. Like, how didn't people like this book? This book is amazing. It just didn't do good. It wasn't, I mean, I guess the writer, well, shit, I've like literally, we might have to do a show one time just going on and looking at some of the short stories that's written on some of the different forums and things. There's some short stories that'll blow your mind in Star Wars that people just, normal people have just wrote and put it up online. And I'm talking about some awesome stories. And it's like, holy crap, these stories are so good. And it's like, but you'll never hear them because they just put it out in just online and they put it on a forum or something.
That's where I got that Ewok story with the Stormtroopers and how they were terrorized by them.
Somebody should really create like a website and just find all the stories, all like the little short films that like have not got put up on YouTube, but might have got put up on like Vimeo or something like that. They went a different route and just find because dude, I've seen some awesome short films that were done really, really well. It looks like they put quite a bit of a budget into this thing, and like I found it on Vimeo or something or what's it? Was it Vimeo or was it Vimno or whatever? Which one is it? The other one is always trying to compete with YouTube. That just ain't.
I couldn't think of that because all I think about immediately is YouTube.
There's been several companies there are several companies that it's like Vimeo or something like that.
Chris, pod racing was essential. That was how Qui-Gon got Anakin.
That's how he got Anakin. That was kind of
that was kind of an essential thing. Like, don't get me wrong, it could have been anything else.
It could have been something else.
But I liked it due to the fact that it shows Anakin's force abilities in play when it comes to racing, because a lot of these creatures have multiple limbs or have a faster reflex than a human would. So in that scene, it shows that Anakin's force abilities are attuned to racing because he's the only person that has not finished the race but survived it in that fact. So I think it was important. It could have been, it could have been, it didn't have to be almost 30 minutes long in my eyes, but still, I enjoyed that part. I mean, do you have anything?
And it brought some excitement to something. It was kind of dry, you know what I'm saying? But there was a lot of dialogue before the actual race scene, so it kind of brought a little bit of excitement to that part of the thing. I do agree.
Yeah.
I think that it could have been done differently and it could have been done better. But I think it was something that was essential to the story.
Yeah, Qui-Gon could have just killed him and took Anakin and his mom. Like, there's a bunch of different solutions to this problem, but that was probably a good one.
That would have gone over very nicely with the hut.
Oh, the Hutts probably would have been pretty pissed, and the Jedi Temple would have heard about it. And there's a lot to that we don't know.
But yeah, I think it was an essential part of the movie. It just showed it was like character development for Anakin, and it like showed Qui-Gon's ability to negotiate. It showed, that brought out the Jedi negotiation part, and that's what Jedis are usually sent to do is negotiate. And since they eliminated the negotiation in the beginning, it was another scene that I just bothered the crap out of me is when the Nymordians shut the blast door and Qui-Gon's already cutting through the other door. They think, shut the blast door like that's going to do something. You already seen what the lightsaber can do. It's just cutting through this damn thing like it ain't nothing. Then you're going to shut some blast doors and then he just sticks it in there like, oh my God, like, what did you expect to happen? Like that, I just feel like that was like just a wasted scene. Like, it was just, like, that scene was just like, okay, like, that was no point in that. It was just like, let them, like, get the droid the cars there, like, instantly, and then they could have just bypassed that whole part. That was just a waste of time.
He's cutting through.
Yeah, it was just stupid. Like, what? There's no point in that. That was another one of the scenes that I've seen that I was like, oh no, this is just a waste of time. Like, why are we doing this? It was like not even. I guess it led up to the negotiations were short. So I mean, it led up to something, but I mean that just. They could have left that out, and it wouldn't have changed the momentum of the scene at all. Actually, the momentum would have probably been better. But that also, that two things that goes with the writers, and it goes with editing. Because when you're editing a film or you're editing something, you're thinking about pacing. How does it pace? You want to have slow times that ramp up to something exciting, and then you want to have some other times it's just all excitement. That's something that the editor and George Lucas and they sit down and they go over each part. Because the editing process is the longest process. Filming it, because they'll film 1,000 hours and then you only get a 2-hour movie, 2 hour and sometimes less than that. And then the editing time takes like months and months to edit stuff. I mean, because you got to go in and like, okay, do we like this scene? Let's take this part out. Okay, that doesn't seem right. Let's put this part in, back in it. Let's, move stuff around. Then you got to add all the Foley, which is all the sound effects. You got to create these sound effects. Like, okay, what's going to make this lightsaber sound? What can we make this lightsaber sound out of? Or what can we make this sound out of? Or what, they got to think about how to make the sounds. And, the Foley artist got to come in and do that. And then you got most of the time they go in and do the vocals again, just to clarify vocals, because they're recording what they're saying, but it's like on a boomstick. It's all like messed up and all kind of different sounds is coming in. So they got to come in, everybody got to do ADR. There's a lot of processes that they have to follow. And some of the scenes, they just stick it in there because they needed the actual scene to do something, just like the sound effects and music and things like that. And then other times they take it out because they want it to go faster or slower or whatever they decide to do. So it's a big process. So some of these scenes, it's like, okay, we need to put a filler in here. We need to fill this part up a little bit more. We needed to expand more time because we're cutting too short. Now the movie's going to be 1 hour and 15 minutes long, and we need it to be 2 hours. So we got to stick in some scenes, and we got to do some different things to draw it out a little bit. What's the best scenes that we could do? Because they probably recorded a whole bunch of different stuff in between that period of time, and that's just what they chose to do. So when you think about it like that, some of the scenes, it's like, they really didn't need it, but I see why they did it. But at other times, it's like, what the hell was even a point? You know what I'm saying? Like the Obi-Wan, the Obi-Wan scene where they're where they're shooting at where they walk up and, this was done by the Imperial Stormtroopers. Look at the accuracy. Like, what the hell? These guys can't hit shit. And there are 3 movies to show it. Even though this was the first one and you didn't know that yet, why would they draw it out and make it the last 3 movies where the Stormtroopers don't ever hit nothing? You know what I'm saying? Like the only time if you really think about it, the only time in the 3 movies that anybody gets shot was Leia gets shot in front of the thing. That's it. Nobody ever gets shot. You don't ever see nobody on the.
Killed.
Who? What'd you say?
Some Ewoks got killed.
Yeah, but they got killed by like stuff blowing up and stuff like that. They didn't get shot. They didn't get shot by. You know what I'm saying? You don't ever see them get shot. They just get blown up or stepped on. Or, like, dude, like literally, the only time you see anybody get shot is Leia getting shot in the shoulder. That's it. In 3 movies, that's the only time you ever see anybody actually getting shot. Empire Strikes Back, the dude gets shot and gets, when they're standing in that trench, that dude gets
Luke
shot.
got shot in the hand in return. Luke got shot in the hand in return on Jabba's sail barge.
Yeah, but that wasn't by.
Yeah, but that's not by a stormtrooper. No storm. If you think about it, the stormtroopers don't ever hit anything. You never see them shoot anybody. Like Leia's the only person that gets shot in the whole thing. The dude gets shot, but you don't know if that's by a stormtrooper or if that was by one of the walkers. You don't know. It doesn't show. You know what I'm saying? It's just he's standing there and he gets shot. Like what's
in actuality, Leia's who shot Leia was an Ewok trying to pick up a blaster to help, and it accidentally shot Leia. Like that would be honestly probably more truthful than a stormtrooper hitting her in the shoulder.
So the scene with Obi-Wan telling Luke that this was done by Imperial stormtroopers was like a pointless scene. It was like completely and utterly pointless. They could have literally just been coming back and pulled up on the Lars farm and seen them on fire. And then Obi-Wan could have said the Empire is here. And then they could have went to whatever the place is on Tatooine. They could have just went and did that. That scene was like just completely and utterly pointless. Like there was no reason behind that scene at all. And we had 3 movies to show us that scene was pointless. That's probably the worst scene that was ever put in Star Wars ever. To me, anyway. Like, it just was dumb. It was like, okay, it didn't build up nothing. It didn't do anything. Only thing it did was like, oh, I got to hurry up and get home. He was already heading there anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter.
That I think of is the introduction of C-3PO just to leave him until episode 2. I think that to me was useless. Like you could have just left him off right there. Like you could have just been like, oh, that's a 3PO droid I'm building. And then went on from there. You didn't need that whole 5-minute interaction with 3PO to not see him until Attack of the Clones when they go back to Tatooine and get him. And straight up, that's a real thing too. He just walked up into the Lars home and took 3PO like, yo, mine now.
It was kind of like it was just like fan service is what it seemed like. You know what I mean? Like it was just showing fans like, oh, I remember that character. Holy crap, Anakin made him? I don't know. It was more of like a cute little ha-ha rather than like, oh, this is important to the story.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It just, there were several scenes, but like I said, they were purposely put in for a reason, probably to just extend time.
Mm-hmm. The award ceremony. I'm pulling it up. Useless. Yep. If Chewie didn't get a medal, there is no freaking point to having it.
Yeah.
And then you turned around and then handed him a hand-me-down medal at the end of the trilogy. Man, you did him so dirty.
To pull people's heartstrings, like give them Hans. There you go, Han's dead. You can have his medal.
Leia found it in their apartment.
I don't understand why he didn't get one to begin with. Like he should have gotten one. I have no idea why.
Chewie is Han's pet. That's all. That's the way.
He's not a pet.
He's not a pet.
That's the way they portrayed him.
That's how they view him. He's a pet.
Yeah, they don't view him like that.
They're racist, okay?
And that is definitely something that happens in the Star Wars trilogy because, especially with Palpatine and them, they didn't like other species. Like, dude, all the generals, all the people that worked on, if you look at the thing, they were all human. The only one, and we didn't find out about Thrawn until way later on, He was the only admiral or general or anything that was non-human species. The Sith, and which is stupid because the Sith weren't even human, but I guess Palpatine was just racist, which made him a better bad guy. Now it made him more like Palpatine's more like Hitler. Now he's racist and he's, you know what I'm saying, and he's a bad guy and he's killing alien species and that just made him, it made his character way worse. And that brought out something that was really, really, you know, like good. It created the character that we all love to hate. So when we think about it, it works better. That would be a huge.
Absolutely not.
If there was other Star Wars, like say George would have released the prequels first, and like, you know, like normal people, you know, they go in order.
Normal people.
And then it came out with the original trilogy. Now, if it was like done with the technology we have now, I think people would have liked it. I think people would have really liked it. Now, if they just like drop, like there's never been no Star Wars till right now, and then they drop Star Wars like right this minute for the first time, I still think it would have been a success because, especially in the time that we're going through in the world right now, that thought of hope, that's what draw people to Star Wars back in the late 70s, because you had the end of the Vietnam War, you had, you know, the drug epidemics going on, you had all of these bad things that was happening in the world, and when George dropped it, it brought hope to everybody. It brought that moment of excuse me, that moment of escape. And it still does to this day. Anyone, like, you having a bad day, you can put on Star Wars and just leave the real world and just be immersed in Star Wars. That's what makes Star Wars so great. Not so much the story or the characters or any of them things. When you put it on, you can immerse yourself into the movie and take yourself out of reality of the real world. It's literally just you and Star Wars at that point. It's a very personal movie because it applies to your situation. Here we go. We could put it like this, something for Garrison here. It's almost like the Bible. It applies to your situation. Like, you can find something in Star Wars that applies to whatever you're going through bad in your life to inspire you that it's going to get better. It's like the living movie of the Lord George Lucas. It applies.
Oh my God.
I mean, really, if you look at it, like you can relate to a character, you can relate to something that somebody's going through, you can relate to something that's happening, because it's like, dude, even if you looked at it like this, look at all the crap they're going through, man. Their shit is way worse than what I'm going through. So why am I sitting here beating myself up worrying about something? You know what I'm saying? You have somebody like Han Solo that is like almost like just nonchalant, like whatever, it is what it is. Then you got somebody like Luke, like, I got to change the world. You know, then you got somebody like Chewbacca that's just like there. He's like, okay, I'm just doing whatever y'all want to do, man. I'm just like one of the crowd, you know, just whatever you guys say, that's what we're going to do. Then you got Leia, which is like this real stand-up person. Everything is like, we got to do this. There's no way that we can't do this. It has to happen. You know, it's going to happen, man. There's hope. Then you got Obi-Wan. He's just like, you must learn to follow these rules. Then you got Yoda over here talking, there's no reason to try, just do it or not do it. Like, there's so many inspiration and so many different things, and this is just an original. You got C-3PO running around, and he's crazy, got ADHD. You know what I'm saying? So somebody can relate to that. Then you got R2. R2 is just a rolling trash can that's just, you know, there, but he's always creating something. He's always making something happen. He's not the main character, but he's still so important. And that might be who you are. You're not the main character in everything, but what you're doing is important. And you need to take importance in what you're doing. You know, you need to, you know, to give yourself credit. There's so many different things that, you know, can apply to the world. You know, we're going through all these bad things. Look at all the bad things. They had an entire empire trying to take them over and trying to control what they're doing. We living in that right now. We're living in that same type of environment right now. Instead of having one emperor, we have the Congress and the House of Representatives and the president and all that, all trying to control what we do, control what we say. Control pricing and, inflation. And, you got to imagine, they're going through the same thing. It's harder for them to find food on some of these planets that the empire is trying to take over. You got people trying to fight back, but it's not really getting because it's a small group and they got this giant, enormous empire. So all these things apply to us every single day. And you can literally go in there and watch it, but at the same time, immerse yourself with it. Like, this is their problems. It's not my problems. Because you forgot about your problems because you're too busy watching their problems. It just works. That's what makes Star Wars so great. So I think even right now, if they came out with Star Wars, it would apply. Now, if they came out with Star Wars in some dry time, we wasn't in no wars or nothing was going on, everything in the world was just perfect, I don't think Star Wars would do it good because nobody would have a reason to watch it. It wouldn't apply to anything. It wouldn't be inspirational. It wouldn't be, that immersive. Only thing you would really get out of it is some entertainment. It would just be like a lot of the other movies that's just entertaining. Star Wars had meaning behind it, and I think that's what drew people in, and that's the way George wrote it. Now, the sequel trilogy, I don't think it applies as much because it just doesn't give you that same type of emotional response as the prequels and the sequels, but that's the way that George wrote it, to give you that emotional response, to let you be immersive into the series itself. And I think that's one of the reasons that people don't like the sequels as much, because they just don't give you that. It wasn't written with the idea of this can apply to your life. This gives you inspiration into your own life. It was just written and created to entertain us. So that's the difference. But still, you can still sit back and enjoy it. You can still sit back and watch it and take yourself out of your time period right then. And you can do that with just about any movie. The point of entertainment is to take you away from whatever the hell you're going on in your everyday life, and just immerse yourself into whatever you're watching. It's a distraction from the real world.
Bodie,
that's what.
I love your comment for Kyle. Sorry to interrupt you, Kyle, but
oh, you're all right. I was done.
You do have better speech. I'm sorry. I gotta agree. You do have better speeches than POTUS does.
Okay, it's not saying much though.
Yeah.
I'm talking
about.
I'm just giving my opinion.
Let's give him the last 25 years of POTUS that we've seen and the debates that we've heard of.
Oh, you mean all POTUS?
Yeah.
Or we're just talking about this dude.
No. We're talking about all of POTUS, right? I've watched some of these debates. I remember in high school we watched some of these debates. I would rather listen to Kyle go on a fucking rant like this for 5 hours than listen to POTUS talk about one bill that could last 20 minutes.
To me, this is just my opinion.
Don't like politics.
I mean, this
is
just
politics, but
this is just my opinion. This is not, I know everything. It's just something that I've learned throughout life to appreciate the things that really have meaning. And Star Wars has meaning. It makes you want to it makes you want to watch more. Why do we think we have so much? If nobody wanted to watch it, it wouldn't be here. We want this. I want to bitch about shit that I don't like about it. I want to, I want to love the stuff that I love about it. That's what it gives you, a little bit of everything. And we have so much content. Everybody, the majority of people, from what polls say, love the Book of Boba Fett. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was good. But at the same time, that's okay, because that's my opinion. Somebody else might love it and hate the original trilogy, which anybody that hates the original trilogy, you need to rethink your life. But, I can't expect, my 5-year-old five-year-old grandson to like the original trilogy. He's going to be looking at it like, what the hell is this low-budget crap? This looks like a B movie. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to like it. But he's going to love some animated series that has to do with Star Wars. He's going to be like, oh, man, the Bad Batch is the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Or the Clone Wars or Rebels or something, because he's a kid. That's what he's supposed to like. So that's the cool thing about Star Wars, too. We have the ability. There's stuff that for everybody. You know, when George was planning this out, I don't think he planned this out just for one set of people. He planned it out for everybody to have something to enjoy. Kids, adults, you know, younger adults, older adults, you know, just everybody. And I think Disney is trying, and I'm going to say trying, to stick with that because we got The Mandalorian, and The Mandalorian is great. We got The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch is cool. Then we got The Book of Boba Fett. That's like, okay, you know, whatever, you know, that don't really appeal to me. But then we're getting, you know, we all got something that we can like from it. Even if you like one episode of Resistance, you have something that's in Star Wars that you liked. Like most people, if you sat down and gave them all the Star Wars content and told them to watch it, it'd probably take them a very long time to watch all of it because there's a lot of stuff. But they're going to find something that they can relate to and something that they can like. Like, I don't know anybody that could watch all of that and sit back and say, I didn't like none of it. I would call them a liar to their face. There's going to be something that you can relate to, something that you can like. Even my dad, and my dad hates anything that has to do with space, stars, you know, all that stuff. My dad is like strictly Westerns. Like, that's only shit he likes. Westerns and shit that has to do with fast cars. If it ain't got them two things in it, he don't care.
Sounds like my dad.
You know what I'm saying? He does not like, he's old. My dad's 83 years old. Like, all this new technology crap, all these new type of movies, he don't like them. He'll be like, I don't like this. It's a Western, some fast draw, meet me at noon shit. Yeah, he's going to love it. Like, he's going to love everything about it. That's just who he is. But even he has watched Star Wars and be like, you know, I like that. I like that one guy. I like that Darth Vader guy. He just likes to fuck people up. You know what I'm saying? I like that dude. Or, you know what I'm saying? I like Boba Fett type shit. There's something in there that he liked. And he's seen a lot of it because I know he's had to watch it with my mom because my mom was a Star Wars fanatic. She loves Star Wars almost as much as Elvis. And that's really hard to do because she loved Elvis. Dude. You see how her dad's room is like all set up for, you know, sports? That's how my mom was with Elvis. There was Elvis statues in the house and Elvis dolls and Elvis pictures. And she loved Elvis to death, which I learned a lot from Elvis, so I can't put Elvis down, man. I watched all of his movies back in the day with my mom, and that dude was a Mac. You know, you want to learn how to talk to some girls, like, hey, all you young people that's watching this, y'all want to learn how to talk to some girls, go watch Elvis movies. Elvis will teach you you can talk crazy about any woman if you just watch it.
Yeah, and he does it the proper way, too. That he didn't, like, Elvis was more of a man about it. It was like what he wanted to say, but in the right tone, in the right manner. He wasn't catcalling. He wasn't texting them. Like, if you see a girl at school, kids that are watching, you see a girl at school, go up and talk to her. Don't shoot her. Hey, I like you on your phone. Boy, get your ass over there and go say hi.
Hey, you can think back to my time, man. We used to give a note.
Oh,
would you go out with me? Yes or no with the little boxes? Yeah. That's my time period.
Straight George Strait stuff right there. Say check yes or no. But that's the thing. Like, you learn a lot, like Kyle was saying, you learn a lot from who you watch. Me, I learned a lot from Star Wars. I learned a lot from the Green Arrow. I was a big Green Arrow fan, and Batman and stuff like that. I learned and loved it because it taught me life lessons that down the road have helped me.
You know what? We did a whole episode on this, and y'all can go back and watch that episode if y'all haven't watched it, about how Star Wars has changed you as a person. You know, after we did that episode, I was thinking about it more. You know what it gave me? It gave me the ability to know that I can accomplish anything. It gave me pride in the things that I do. You know, I found, like, I might not be the best dude in the world. I might not be Harrison Ford or, you know, Denzel Washington, but I'm very proud of the things that I've done. I'm very proud of the hard work that I've put in to create content for people to enjoy. And that's what I had to sit back and think about, like, that's something that Star Wars, take pride in the things that you do. It might not be the greatest accomplishment in the world, okay, but take pride in those things. You know, because you did something. You know, there's people out there that go their whole lives and never do anything. You know what I'm saying? They just have that mundane life and they just get up, go to work, come home. They don't ever do anything. And I've done so many amazing things in my life, and I've been lucky. I've been really lucky and really fortunate to be able to do some of the things that I've done in my life and travel the places that I've traveled. I take a lot of pride that I worked hard. You know, I worked hard. It was like the rebels. They were always working hard, even though they kept getting their ass whooped. Every time they turn around, they get a win and then right back to getting their ass whooped. It was like never ending. Like, dude, this shit is, but they just kept trying. They just kept on trying until they succeeded. And it was, you know, and some of it had to do, they say the force or luck or whatever you want to call it. You know, it worked out for them in the end. Until the next trilogy comes out and they're right back in the bad part, and it's a whole new enemy because, you know, you destroy the empire and then you got the new empire trying to take over. Like, where these guys come from? We won. Shit, what the hell? You know, but that's the thing. That's what life is. Life's about ups and downs. That's really what life is about. It's about going up, going down, going back up, going back down, go back up. Sometimes you drop really low. Sometimes you go really high and then you drop back down. I mean, I'm sitting there like, I came to all of y'all, I wanted to start this podcast. Like, dude, I want to talk about Star Wars with Star Wars fans. I want people to come into the chat and get to know a bunch of the community and enjoy this. And then I find out I get MS or I might have MS, I don't know. I'll find out definitely on next Monday. I got to get my lumbar puncture and then they'll be able to tell better. But, you know, then but it's like, now it's a possibility that I might not be able to do it. But I'm like, dude, I'm not giving up. I'm gonna keep going until I can't do it no more. Until I can't talk no more, I'm gonna be here. Even if I might not be able to move like Garrison, you gotta hit all the buttons. I can't move. I'm still gonna be here to talk. Until I can't talk no more, I'm gonna be here. And because that's what Star Wars inspires into people. And that's how I look at this. I look at life like Star Wars. I literally do. I mean, if you ever see me, I got a Star Wars shirt on. Unless I'm at work and then I have to wear these ugly fluorescent green shirts, but that's all right. I got a Star Wars sticker on, you know what I'm saying, my truck. I got Star Wars stickers everywhere. My life is because Star Wars inspires me to be a better person, to try, to not give up just because something gets difficult. And that's what I try to inspire into other people. I try to tell people all the time, I try to give, especially younger people, I'm always trying to give them advice, even though I know that younger people don't listen. I didn't listen when I was younger, but still, that's what we're here to do, give people advice. Tell them, hey, man, dude, don't do that. It's bad. Do this. Try. You don't have to accept mediocreness. You don't have to accept that the world is against you. And, like, come on. Look if Elon Musk would have done that. We wouldn't have Tesla and he wouldn't own Twitter right now, that the government just opened up this truth, the whole new division of the FBI or whatever about truth seeking, and what you can say is the truth because he owns Twitter now, and he's like, everybody can come back on here and say what they want. Now they're like, oh no, you can't do that. You know, we got to stop that from happening. Now y'all want to come in. Before y'all didn't want to do that, but we wouldn't have none of that. None of this stuff would be happening if that dude would have just said, nope, I'm just going to go to work and be this normal guy. And, you know, Donald Trump wouldn't have became president ever if this dude wouldn't have tried, if he wouldn't have worked hard, even though he was born into money. But he still went on. He was on TV, did all this stuff, and then he became the president of the United States. Come on, Barack Obama. That dude said, I'm gonna try, I'm gonna work. And that dude worked himself up to be the first black president that we ever had. Like, dude, you can't tell me that something can't be done. Anything that you want to do, you can do it. And Star Wars inspires that into us. Because Luke, come on, what's the odds of this dude being on Tatooine and then the next thing you know, he's taking down the Empire? What's the odds of that happening?
And being one of the greatest Jedis to ever walk. Like yeah, what are the odds? Yeah.
One of the greatest. He probably was the greatest because at the point at that time, it was just him and Leia that could use the Force. So
I'm talking about of all time. I'm talking about of all time. Come on.
I don't know. I'd put him up there as the greatest Jedi of all time.
After what they did to him and said what was okay and not okay and canon and not canon, he's number 2 to me. I think number 1 overall to me is Yoda. I think Yoda all time.
I think Luke. Now, if it was just Yoda and Luke and nobody else, and they were both drawing off the Force, because you got to remember the Force is like a battery. Yep. This is the way that Darth Revan explained it to me. The more people you got drawing off of it, the weaker it is. So the less that you can do. Luke was so powerful and could do so much stuff because at one point he was like the only person drawing off of it. Everybody else was dead. So he could do some super duper shit. Like he was like the super Jedi. Like Bane was like the super Sith. Like that dude could do some, like he didn't have to shoot lightning out of his fingers. He could draw lightning out of the sky from any direction and just kill you. So it was really bad. But Luke was probably the most powerful Jedi because he was the only one there. The only other person at that time that was taking anything from the Force was Leia when he was training her. But like that, Luke was dope. Luke did, I mean, Force project the entire ship in front of you plus mask your ship so they can't see it. That's dope. So they just shooting at an image. Like that's some dope power right there. You know, like most people got the ability to, you know, be able to negotiate good or see, you know what I'm saying, something like that. Like they didn't have no like super great extra abilities. What Mace could use the dark side a little bit and without turning to the dark side. That's not great abilities. You know what I'm saying? Luke had like some great abilities. And so, I mean, come on, just think about it like this. Even Force projecting yourself clear across space, being able to walk up, you know what I'm saying? Just talk to your sister and then go outside and have a battle and you're not even there. That's dope as shit. That's dope. Even though I don't understand how it killed him, but that's dope. That's a dope Force ability compared to like what Yoda's Force ability being wise. You know what I'm saying? That was his Force ability.
Not to be able to figure out.
How dare you have intelligence? That is, I think that is how Kyle is coming off. How dare you be just wise and Jedi knowledge, Yoda?
Like, dude, like that's not that's the, I mean that's a good Force ability to have to be able to be wise, but like to actual in battle it doesn't really help you a whole lot.
That's a real question. Prime Anakin or Prime Luke?
Yeah.
Prime Luke.
Luke.
I think I'm calling Anakin.
I gotta agree with Kim. I think I'm gonna go with Anakin.
Anakin still didn't have the power that.
It depends. Like, are you talking strictly movies? Because yeah, then I'll give you Anakin, because the sequels kind of neutered Luke. But if you're talking about like Legends 2, dude,
Anakin in Legends
Luke
was an animal.
Yeah, but still, like, you got to understand, during the time that Anakin was, that he did not have the ability to draw upon the Force because he has so many other Jedis drawing upon it. Now, if it was Prime Anakin, there wasn't no other Jedis around, Prime Anakin, definitely. But there was never a time that Anakin, by that time he was Darth, and now he done lost most of his midichlorians. So, because, you know, he's missing a bunch of body parts in his whole, he wouldn't even be alive if it wasn't for the thing.
He'd just be missing some limbs, you know.
For the suit keeping him alive. And by that time, and that's another thing that I like, but I dislike. Me, as a person, I want to be a Sith. If I was going to, you know, if I had Force ability, I would be a Sith just because I think that they're way better. But at the same time, they don't have healing properties. They don't know how to heal themselves. Like, they can't use the Force to heal themselves. Jedi could do that. So could a Jedi actually, if they really tried and it was just them, that was something I used to wonder about with Luke. Like, why didn't you just regrow your hand? Why didn't you use the Force to regrow your hand? You know what I'm saying? Because the Force can do anything. There's nothing that the Force can't do. Like, literally, the Force could tell the midichlorians to start redoing tissue and just regrow your hand. Like, why didn't you try to regrow your hand? You have Force healing, which is way better than what any doctor can do. The Sith don't have that. But if we're talking about just like Anakin just in like, you know, normal times, like with all the other Jedi, no, I mean, there's no way that he's more powerful than Luke when Luke is just by himself. But if you take Anakin and put him by himself, yeah, I think Anakin would have, I think he'd have regrew his legs, healed his complete body, regrew his hand. But at that time, he went to the dark side. So when you use the dark side of the Force, it's all off of passion and anger and stuff like that. So you're not using the good side of the Force to have regenerating powers. Because he wasn't dead. Like, this dude stayed alive. But what could he have done if he would have stayed to the light and like used force healing? Like, could he heal? Could he? A lot of those. I don't know if they can regrow limbs or anything like that. I'm kind of pushing out there. But could he have at least fixed his lungs or something like that? That's just my thought process because I'm like, dude, like a lot of people. If you go back through the books, a lot of people have done some amazing. They should have died and they used force healing to survive. So, like. Come on. Look at Rey. She stabbed Kylo Ren through the midsection and then force healed him. That's not even force healing herself. She force healed him with a big hole in him. You know what I'm saying? The worm had that big cut in him and she force healed him with that. Force healing is dope. But see, that's another one. Look how powerful. People sit back and say that Rey wasn't that powerful. Rey was powerful. She had, because all she had was her and Leia at this point. Luke was already gone. So she was learning how to draw upon the Force in a different way, be able to do different things. She's sitting there flying. Jedi ain't supposed to fly. But we all see her floating in The Rise of Skywalker. She's sitting there just floating in the air. You know what I'm saying? Even though George didn't ever want that to happen, but it was there. She was powerful. Rey was very powerful. And then, you know what I'm saying? So when you're looking at it in the proper sense, Luke was more powerful than Anakin in the time periods. Now, if you take everybody away and you have Anakin with nobody else being able to use the Force or one or two other people being able to use the Force, Anakin would have been super, because he was already super powerful just by himself with everybody else drawing from him. Look how he just snatched the brother and sister out of the air. He just drug them down to the ground like they weren't shit. And they are the Force. You know what I'm saying? So he was dope. But how much doper would he have been if there was nobody else drawing upon the Force from the good side? That would, I don't think there would be anybody more powerful than him, ever in the history of time. Not even Revan that could use both the light and the dark side of the Force. Not even close. I don't even think there would be even. He'd just like swat Revan away. But he never lived in a period that he could do that. He was pretty strong as Darth Vader because it was just him and Palpatine. But then as you bring in Inquisitors, as you bring in other people that can use the Force, it diminishes their ability in the Force. It weakens it because now you got more people drawing off of that battery. Are we ready to get to where are we at?
What if? What if?
Don't know what if. Shit.
Yeah, we've been going a long time.
It only takes one decision to decide the direction of the galaxy, a decision that will influence the outcome. But if that decision went the other way, reality as we know it would change forever. The galaxy would be on a different course. Things that have happened would cease to exist. A new narrative would be etched into creation. So we are going to analyze those other possibilities when we ask, what if?
Okay. Honestly, I didn't come up with a what if question today.
We go to the next thing.
No, we can do the what if. I can think some. What if Han and Leia never got married and Ben was never born? How would have things been different? Where do you think? Where do you think the dark side would have tried to make? Because there's always light and dark. So how would the dark side have come back in? What do you think Palpatine would have done to get the situation different?
He would have been around anyways. Palpatine returned magically. So
yeah. So I think he would have just reemerged with the Sith fleet, and it would have been a whole different. Yeah. We wouldn't have had to deal with Snoke. We wouldn't have had to deal with Rey. It would have just been old man Luke, old man Han, and old lady Leia, and Chewie.
He would have found a way.
Yeah, he would have. It would have just been another trilogy of that we first got in '77, but with older characters.
I mean, ideally, we just wouldn't have the trilogy, and they would have just ended the story. I would have liked that, but
yeah, that sounds ideal.
Disney would have figured something out.
You know, it would have been dope if they would have actually did that. Like, say he sent out Snoke, and Snoke was found some other apprentice other than Ben, and it didn't have nothing to do with that. But then Palpatine comes back with just a whole Sith fleet, First Order fleet or Final Order fleet, and just destroys everybody. and then they just ended it right there. The bad guy actually won, and that would have been the end of it. That would be like
No,
the only
thank you.
time
Blasphemy.
in the entire history of time that the bad people actually won, and it was okay. It was just that's where they ended it at. Because you got to think about it now. Really, if you think about it now with the trilogy, the way they ended the trilogy, you just have Rey, right? But Rey is still, even though she's more like a gray Jedi because she has the dark side of the Force and she has the light side and she has the yellow lightsaber and she's more like a gray Jedi. Something darkness has to come because she still falters or still leads towards the light. So something from the dark has to come. So my thing is how is Disney going to do that without being part of the trilogies or a part of the actual, Star Wars Skywalker saga type? But how could they implement that? Like to bring somebody from the dark side in to challenge Rey and give us, 3 more movies where Rey is actually doing something other than just being Rey, being Rey Palpatine. Because I'm not gonna say
Snoke's
another one.
grandson.
Well, Snoke is like a clone of.
I know. That's what I was just. Disney would figure out a way, bro. Come on.
They bring another one of the clones that was in that vat. They bring them back out. I think that would be just stupid, but they could do that. What would be a good thing that they could do? That's a good question. What would a good thing that Disney could do? Well, let's do it like this.
Stop.
Leave it alone. Stop. Leave it be. We appreciate your
back.
consideration.
Give
Yeah,
it
we
back.
we appreciate your consideration to want to continue, but we're gonna have to
Nah.
politely decline.
I know that there's this big gathering of people that don't want to have Jedi no more or Sith no more in the Star Wars galaxy. They're trying to eliminate it. And it's like, dude, that's what made Star Wars Star Wars. Like eliminating the Force from Star Wars is just that would ruin Star Wars. So we got like the Mandalorian, he using the Force, and then we got, Boba Fett's not using the Force. We got the Bad Batch not using the Force. We got all these things they have to bring something back in with the Force. What would be a good thing for them to bring in?
I like Chris's idea, tie in Bane, where he managed to try to get into Xana's body, but projected himself to others in the galaxy at the same time.
I don't know. You know what? Bane is like Bane and Revan are my like 2 favorite characters. And I think, in all honesty, I don't think Disney's going to go for it. I think we're ever going to get a Bane thing from Disney.
We might.
I think if they really they might do something in a video game, but I don't think that they're ever going to make a movie off of Bane.
I think it'd
Just
be
because
idiotic
I
to
want
not
it so
think.
bad and I don't ever get what I want. So it's never going to happen.
They never listen to me. This is bullcrap.
It's just I just don't see them doing anything with Bane. Now Revan, I do have a feeling that they might bring out like a Revan series or a Revan, something that has to do with Revan, because Revan can go so many different directions with being Revan,
Right.
turning to the dark side, coming back. That brings inspiration. That there's a lot of stuff that they can tie into that.
Mhm.
But I just don't have a feeling. I think that's one of those things, and I kind of want it, but at the same time, I like not knowing, was Palpatine Bane? You know what I'm saying? Or did Xana actually win? I kind of like not knowing, what really happened. I really enjoy, what I'm saying, that just not knowing. It makes the story so much better. It just makes it that much more exciting for me, because was Palpatine Bane? Did Bane just do essence transfer into just different people all the way to Palpatine, like he became the master? Xana was Bane, and he trained Cognis, and then he did essence transfer into Cognis, and then just all the way to Palpatine.
There is this is not on the Bane topic, but I feel like in regards to a show coming out, I would really like what I really want to see is because we got the Clone Wars focused on the clone troopers too, you know, besides obviously the Jedi, but I really want to see the life of stormtroopers and all the shit that they had to do or what they had to go through while serving. I don't know. I think it's an interesting topic for me.
Like
I've
to
always
like
been
single out, like maybe like have a story about one stormtrooper. Then we
yeah.
get then we kind of get that with Finn. No, I'm joking.
Well,
That's
that's what
like, yeah, we got that story, don't we?
I want.
But like
I
a
don't know.
more in-depth story, like
Yeah,
like
like
going through the training and then having to get
yeah,
sent out to do the things that they're sent out to do, all on like these people are bad because they're all like bad people and go
right.
kill them and they're not really the bad people. Like, are you sure they're the bad people?
Hmm.
Kind of like all the Russian military that's like skipping out on their military because like you said we was fighting Nazis.
Yep,
These people ain't Nazis. What are you talking about?
exactly.
That would be kind of cool. I don't know. I just do the mysteriousness of the Force, like not knowing really what it is. It gives that hidden backside to the characters. Like they can use the Force, but what is the Force? Like maybe a story that was explained because we know we're never going to get a Yoda story. We're never going to get a Yoda. Disney's basically just put it out there. They're never going to do a movie about Yoda or a series about Yoda like his because I think George wrote it into the contract that they weren't allowed or something.
Right.
You're not allowed to tell Yoda's backstory. And I
Right.
kind of feel
Only
the same
ruined
thing.
his baby so much.
You know, so I feel and I feel kind of the same way about the Bane, thing because it's like the same thing. That mystery is what keeps it exciting. You give away that mystery, then it's like, all right, man, that kind of sucked, man. I didn't want to really know that. And I think not knowing where Yoda came from, who, how he started. I mean, 900 years is old. He's been around for a long time. Maybe give a backstory of when he was younger, but don't tell where he came from. Don't ever give that up. Don't ever
Right.
tell where Yoda came from, what planet he's from, what species.
I,
Just leave that a mystery.
I don't
I
want to know.
really, I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like there's so many. I want to know more about the Force. I
Hmm.
want I want to like the Force is what made Jedi and Sith is what made Star Wars so great, and everybody's pushing for these non-Force using
Yeah, saw.
characters, and it's like, dude, that's not what Star Wars is about. Yeah, these characters are great characters. Don't get me wrong. I love Boba Fett. I love the Mandalorian. I love, but the Mandalorian wouldn't have been the same if we didn't have Baby Yoda in there or Grogu or whatever you want to call him using the Force. The Force made that shit just that much like it. What is Baby Yoda gonna do? Like just the mysterious, and then he uses the Force and he passes out, and I mean it just was like, oh god, it
Hmm.
gave that Star Wars experience, and you take the Force out of it, it eliminates that Star Wars experience. There has to be Force using characters in Star Wars to be Star Wars. Even in the Bad Batch, it's like we didn't have no Force, but the Force is there.
Yeah.
Everybody talked about, oh, is what's her face Force sensitive? Oh, is this gonna happen? When is a Jedi gonna pop up? I mean, and it did. It started off with that, but that's what made it exciting because that's what you were looking for. Everybody says, I don't want this, but then that's the first thing that you look for when something comes out. Who's the Force user? And I think
Yeah.
that people don't understand that the Force is part of Star Wars. There is no Star Wars without the Force. So it has to be there in some sense and fashion. And I just hope that they don't ever go to something that just there's no Force at all. If they go to that, I think that that's going to be where Star Wars actually falls off completely. It's going to be like, what is this? This is just like I might as well be watching a movie about Halo or what I'm saying, a movie about
Yeah.
cars because you eliminated the Force. The Force is like luck. You know, in other movies, we look for who got that luck that's hitting them. Who got that little extra? You know, we look for those things. It's in our nature. So you take that away, it takes away from the story. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I
CJ,
agree.
What up?
Keep the
right? We got some news and rumors.
Who?
The ultimate news and rumors.
That was Garrison. That wasn't me.
So mean to me, I swear. You ask
That
a
was
question
Garrison.
and then shut up.
I'm on your side, CJ.
Oh,
No,
dude.
so I have a couple things. No Hasbro stuff. Hasbro's been really light, really dull. And honestly, the only thing that has caught my attention drastically was Hayden Christensen teases that his role as Darth Vader isn't done after Obi-Wan Kenobi. The extent of Vader's journey, I think, remains to be seen.
Oh,
Well, you know,
That is what he said. And
now,
then
is it-
he was asked, did James Earl Jones come back to voice Vader? And he says, I have no comment.
of course he did. James Earl
Motherfucker,
Jones
of course,
is
that's his
kind of
life.
has
That-
to.
like, dude, like,
Didn't-
I
don't
mean,
wanna
come
watch
on, James Earl Jones, like, dude, you can't have Darth Vader without James Earl Jones. Like that
Yeah.
like, and James Earl Jones has already like said in multiple interviews that he loves Star Wars. So it's
Yeah.
like, dude, for his a chance to come back to do Darth Vader, that's like not to say that it can't happen, and not to say that they can't with technology now. I mean, they got some programs out there that they can like.
They could,
I
yeah.
could be Darth Vader, and you would never know I wasn't James Earl Jones. I could sound just like him. But I don't see that happening. I do
the
not
right
see.
thing to do.
Yeah, it's the right thing to do. And as long as James Earl Jones is still alive and he's still kicking it, I think that he'll be Darth Vader. That's my personal opinion.
Agreed.
But I think that that's where you got to go. CJ, you can't just leave in the middle of the news and rumors, and you're the one doing the news and rumors.
I got some.
Okay.
Jedi Fallen Order, the sequel. It's been announced that they are only going to be releasing on the latest gens. So, like PlayStation 5. They won't be on Xbox One or PlayStation 4.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Why?
that's kind of messed up.
That's fucked up. Sorry.
Yeah.
But-
I mean, it kind
yeah.
of sucks, especially because people still can't fucking get PS4, PS5s half
That's
the
what
time.
I'm saying.
It's madness.
I loved that
Um,
game.
Yeah, so the Jedi Fallen Order 2 will only be on next gen. Star Wars Tales of the Jedi
Yeah.
animated anthology series is going to be announced during Star Wars Celebration. I don't know much about it. CJ, do you know anything about it?
The Tales of the Jedi?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's supposed to be I've only heard things here and there about it, but it's supposed to be a before Phantom Menace kind of tales of it's supposed to be like an Old Republic kind of style, where you get stories about individual Jedis that made a contribution before, obviously, the Clone Wars. Also,
and this
I
is going
found
to be an
something.
animated series, right?
Yes, this is going to be an animated series. It's a Dave Filoni project.
Oh, that's
So-
going to be dope.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be good. It's a Dave Filoni project. Also,
excited for that.
the TV rating, age rating for Obi-Wan Kenobi is 9+, so as in 9 years old and up. It is the lowest out of all of them. The Clone Wars has a 13, or what was it?
So
Oh.
Kenobi's 9? Oh, please no. Please no.
It has the same TV age rating as Visions.
God damn
Kenobi
it.
does?
It's going to be so
Yeah.
bad.
And
Oh,
Disney
yeah, I
released that.
That doesn't give a whole lot of hope right there.
That's
kinda-
why would you do that? Why would you release that?
Well, also you got to think about it like this, and it just all depends on the situation because, well, that kind of goes against what Disney was saying then, because it's definitely gonna have to be nonviolent. Because wasn't Disney in Florida in the thing because they did Florida wanted to pass a law to like teach kids about sex in like kindergarten or something like
Yeah.
that, and
Yeah.
you know, in like in transgender and you know the alphabet people situation. Then they want to
Man, you kill me with that every time you say it. Mid vape hit, and he says ABC people, and I'm like, mute the mic, mute the
Hey,
mic.
I'm not. I don't know all the alphabet, so I mean I know how to say it all, but I don't know like how the lettering goes. So I just call them the alphabet people.
And that's fine.
But you know what I'm saying? Ain't they going through a thing like that? That Florida wants to do that, and Disney's like, no, like that's like not right. You don't do that, and they're like on the other side of that. So to turn around and put something at 9, that's kind of saying that they're not going to have no violence in it, like you know, because they're on that other, they're on that left side or right side or whichever side that this is like playing out. You know, I don't. That just kind of.
I'm fine with lack of violence, like with not as much violence as other Star Wars. I'm okay with that. But the thing
Yeah.
is, it still needs to be dark. Like
Mhm.
Obi-Wan is going through a lot. It's got to have some darkness to it that I don't
So-
think is going to necessarily be okay for like 9.
During Celebration or before Celebration, Disneyland, Tori's feeding me news, and I love her for this because this whole eye thing has been making my sleep schedule all wonky. They're holding a Star Wars disco night the week of the 4th. And then they're going to do it again in Celebration, right? Yeah. So, disco, Star Wars. How do we feel about that? Because I don't. I grew up in a heavy metal house, not heavy metal, but rock and roll household where my dad listened to like AC/DC and Kiss and Def Leppard, and disco was bad, and you don't play that crap in my house, kind of stuff. So I don't know.
I think that's just you know, if I was
Are we going to get
there,
a dancing Vader?
if I was at, well, you look at that old video that they.
I
did.
know, of
Most
Celebration.
Most of them look like they doing disco dances anyway, so it's you know. I guess it is not that big of a deal. Like if people want to go to that and they want to spend the money,
The mayor of Mayor Hawthorne is DJing. They're $75 tickets. You get photo ops. You get all these fun things.
$75 to go to a Star Wars disco.
I'm paying
God,
$180 to meet Ray Park. I don't care.
Yeah, if I had the money, I guess I'd go.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
think it'd
mean?
be fun. And the mayor is DJing. That's cool.
Yeah, I'd go to it.
I don't know. It's just to me. You got to understand. I'm frugal.
mean,
If it don't have to
maybe-
do with something that can make more money, I don't buy it. And it's like I just like I would never in my life pay money to go see. And I'm not putting you down, CJ, but I would never pay money to go see another man. Ever. I don't care who that man is.
Don't
I'm
you
not
like
paying
the Broncos? Have you went to a Broncos game?
Yeah, but I was watching a football game. I didn't go there to
you
see
paid
one
money
player.
to go watch a bunch of men tackle
You
each
watch
other.
them,
Why can't you?
man.
But it's a game. Like I get to see the action of the game. I didn't go pay, $180 to go see
Yeah, I
John
get to go,
Elway. Ain't no
but
way in hell I can go to John
I'm
Elway's
paying
wine restaurant and meet him for free. I just bought a steak. It was $22. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta eat the steak.
Bodie,
Like,
the 180 is to get a photo op and actually have like a good 15-minute conversation and like conversate with Ray Park and all these things. Because you gotta think he don't live here. He's not from here. So he's got to make money to be able to send back home and take care of his family. So I think it's worth it personally.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm a big Darth
$180 though. That's a lot of money.
He
dude.
signs everything.
Like
You have a personal
$180.
conversation.
I could get a new boom arm and a mic, for a dope mic for $180. That's how I look at it though.
You know what, man? I'm excited. Let me have my moment.
I mean, that's why I said that, to each his own.
I know.
I just can't see myself doing that. I mean, there's so many other things I could spend I buy a new lightsaber for $180 before I went. It's not even
Plan on
like
doing that the next day.
Mhm.
Damn you.
To me, it's like I would rather go like the Galaxy's Edge and just meet an actor that's playing the actor. I'd rather do that. That's like, I've never been one of those, like my friends used to be like, oh, let's go to the strip club. I'm not going to no strip club. That's a waste of time. I'm not just gonna give somebody some money just because they took their clothes off. Like I got a wife at home, and I take your clothes off. She takes all my money anyway. So like, why am I gonna go pay some strange woman money to take her clothes off? I don't care. Like I'm not gonna give nobody no money for that. Like it's just, I don't know. There's just certain things. It doesn't make no sense to me. Like there's like, I just don't like. I don't know. I'm frugal as shit. I don't like to spend money anyway, so I'm definitely not gonna give nobody no money just to go meet them. Like, who the hell are you? We put our pants on the exact same damn way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just shit. For all you know, at this point, you just as famous as he is, because there's a lot of Star Wars fans that don't even know who he is. They be like, "Who is that? You don't know who? What the hell is wrong with you?" You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know who these characters are. They don't know what the actors' names is and different stuff like that. So it's like, at this point, you might be as famous as him just being on YouTube. So it's like, you're going to get us do some money? Like, I just don't get it. But, you know.
I have 2 more bits of news. So on May the 4th, Fortnite will be dropping bundles where you can use a lightsaber again, like when they did. Hey, I still run around as Boba Fett and Merc shit. I don't care. I'm having fun. I'm doing what Boba Fett should have done. So, and then they dropped details about the new saga, not the new saga, but the Fallen Order, the second part of Fallen Order. It will not be released for Xbox One or PlayStation 4. It'll be for the next gen consoles.
We talked about that before you came on.
I'm sorry. I had to go pee. I couldn't hold it anymore.
You're good. I was just like,
Garrison, you've done it. You've almost peed yourself.
No, I got you. We were just saying that, like, we already covered it. We're good.
But I don't. I think that's idiotic. I think that is, you're going to lose money, a lot of money doing that, because nobody wants the new consoles right now. They're still going through well, yeah, that too. But they're also like, when you do, they're still having bugs and problems and processing issues. And like my buddy went and bought the new X series or whatever it is, and it won't connect to his Wi-Fi, and it won't hardwire in. It doesn't read it properly. So he's still using his Xbox One. I still have the first gen Xbox One. I haven't gotten rid of it. So I don't know. I think it's idiotic. They're going to lose money, and then they're going to end up dropping it for older station, like the older game systems. So I said some of them, Chris, not all of them. But do you like it? That's a real question, though.
Dude, the fact is, like, they're still on, like, back order, aren't they? Like, it's still pretty hard to get your hands on. Like, it's just stupid. Like, until they're more, like, readily available, it's kind of, like, not the best shot to call that you're only going to have them for those later gens, you know?
And they think that problem's going to be solved by 2023 when the game comes out? No.
Yeah.
No. And that's, I think, like when you go into GameStop, like I could have went into GameStop, traded in my old Xbox, and got the smaller version without the disc drive, but I didn't. I like my Xbox One. I can still play all the games that are out right now and buy stuff. I think, like you were saying, Kim, I think it's a premature call.
I like the PS4 just fine.
Of course you do. You look like a PlayStation lover.
I love PS4. It's my game.
I'm an Xbox.
PlayStation 5 wasn't, because so the difference between like PS3 and PS4 or 360 and Xbox One was like pretty big. Like, oh dang, this is a sweet update, right? The difference between PS4 and PS5, I don't know. It wasn't like much.
It wasn't detrimental.
Yeah, it was like, this is kind of just the same thing. Maybe I'm just an old dumb guy who doesn't know enough about video games, which is probably accurate. But
what the hell? I don't even know what the hell y'all are talking about. Like, what?
Yeah, you got Kyle over here in left field, like, throw me the ball. I don't know what I'm doing over here.
I have no idea. I didn't even, like, the last time I had a video game was the PS2.
Hey, Obi-Sean.
all right, so should we get into some of the impossible quiz?
Oh, hold up right quick. There was something I had.
There we
Did
go.
y'all hear that Bill Burr weighed in on Gina Carano's firing?
Oh no!
More?
Oh no!
We're
Yeah.
Oh,
So
just
Bill
let it
Burr
go,
actually,
everyone.
This has been a year
from
now.
what I'm reading right here on the article, Bill Burr is kind of like saying that the way that they fired her was wrong. They shouldn't have fired her for that.
They
Because
shouldn't.
Bill Burr is opening up about his feelings on Gina Carano's firing from The Mandalorian in 2021, sharing details and echoing his comments in the immediate wake of the dismissal. In a new interview with Hollywood Reporter, it says Burr was his brutal honesty, which doesn't make any sense. I don't know who wrote this article. Self thoughts and gave a balanced take on how Carano was treated. Bill Burr basically thinks that she was treated wrongly in her firing, which I think is, I think she was fired for the right reasons. I think Disney should have been harsher. They should have crushed her career. Like, you can't just come out and say things like that. That's not good. That's, you know what I'm saying? Keep your opinions to yourself.
But that's a double standard at the same time, because Disney speaks out on a lot of things themselves. A lot of those guys in the Disney exec office are very well known for supporting certain things and saying certain things, and they get away with murder.
That's also, I just is straight oxymoron on what I just said, because I said keep your opinions to yourself, but I get on here and tell my opinion all the damn time.
I was like that kind of goes back.
I don't give a shit what nobody thinks.
The thing that pissed people off the most was the comparison she made to the Holocaust, which, like, I can understand. But on the same side, Pedro Pascal made the same comparison.
Yeah, he made the same comment about being a Democrat.
So, like, I don't know. I understand, like,
I think there was more to the story than what we know.
Oh yeah,
Probably.
There's got to be a lot more. I think they just didn't want somebody that outspoken, because what she compared it to is like, hey, being a Republican in a Democratic ran age
industry
is like being a Jew during the Holocaust. You're gonna get attacked, you're gonna get taken, and you're gonna it's not gonna go well for you. Was it right for her to say this? No. Did Disney freaking warn her?
It was
not exactly that, but
it was more of the lead up to the Holocaust, I think, is how she put it. So
Yeah.
it wasn't, but still.
But Disney warned her, like, hey, dial it back. Like, we're not going to tell you no because it's your First Amendment right, but you need to dial it back. Like,
They give her warnings.
No, I told her no.
Yeah, they gave her warnings.
They told her no. They told her to take it off. And yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, they told her to take that one down, but she had made other comments previously that they got onto her about, and she just kept on doing it.
What kills
like
me
I said,
is
there's a
when
lot
people-
more to the story than what we know. And my thing is, like, dude, my biggest thing is she shouldn't have put her political views in the spotlight when you're trying, when basically your employer saying, hey, that doesn't look good in general. Because that's kind of how they told her. In general, it doesn't look good as overall you're a representation of the corporation of Disney and Lucasfilms. Please stop doing that. And then she just didn't. She refused to. And she got more harsher in the things that she was doing.
Oh, yeah. It got more aggressive.
It got more aggressive. So basically, they fired her for being like, fuck you, Disney. I'm going to do what I want to do. And they're like,
which that I understand firing for. But I also think there's two sides where, like, all the other stars in Disney could share their political beliefs, and she felt like she couldn't because she was different. So I think it was messy all the way around.
It was.
And what's really crazy is we're in a time period that, like, before you knew who the Republicans was, you knew who the Democrats were. Your political view was based on where they were at. Now, like, from what I'm viewing, you can't tell, like, what's the difference? Like, y'all flip-flop so much, and one side is like Republicans used to be real against gun laws and being strict and trying to take everybody's guns away and everything like that. Now now the Democrats are like that. They done flip-flopped. And so it's like, dude, I don't have a political view no more because I don't know who to be on nobody's side. I used to be a Democrat. And now I'm like, I don't know. I might be a Republican now because now all the stuff that the Democrats used to be on good side for that I agree with, the Republicans are on. I'm like, I don't even know what to do anymore. And I think that this all happened to cause, you know what I'm saying, confusion, so we don't know what they're doing. basically that's
Politics
what
in general today are very messy. And
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like there's no way to even know what's going on. It's
Well,
like,
and
come
the
on.
other thing with Gina was when she did, you know how on Twitter you can put what you identify as?
Yeah, beep bop boop.
Everybody,
Yeah.
she put robot noises and everybody took it so damn literal. She was just like, it's a joke. It's a fucking joke. Take it as a joke. It wasn't a personal attack on somebody's gender of preference.
Yeah.
Well, I was
Like-
listening. I was listening to the radio. I listened to news radio on the work, and I was listening to news radio, and the guy said, "When are we gonna get back to the point where people can just be funny?" He's like, "The worst thing is it's killing comedy." He was like, "It's killing comedy because now comics have to restrict what they say because they're scared to offend somebody."
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what comedy is about. Just saying it's not your beliefs. It's funny. Just say it because it's funny. It's not personal against anybody, and people are taking it personal, and it's really ruining, entertainment. It's really ruining, all this woke shit is like ruining people's ability, first off, to make a living, because a lot of comics are out there losing their asses, like especially some of the lower end comics that they're traveling and they can't even say what they want to say, and then their shit's not funny no more because they can't just say what they want to say. It's ruining entertainment because, even though we get on here and say what we want to say and we get to talking about all kind of crazy shit, but if somebody really took offense, I mean, that could, they could, YouTube could come in and say, hey, you can't talk about that, you can't do that or whatever. It's just restrictions, and then everybody wants to go, well, we have the freedom of speech. Because people don't understand, don't take this personally. We're not attacking the individual, or we're not saying something funny at a group. It's just something that's funny. That's all it is. But everybody's all, oh, that hurt my feelings, so let me be a Karen now, or something. It just...
No, babe, we cannot just have a purge night.
I mean, it's ruining the way that the world functions. And it's not right. Like, just let people say what they want to say. If you're offended by it, don't listen to it. You know what I'm saying? How hard is that? Like, why does it have to be this big group thing that everybody attacks somebody for saying that something that they just said because it was funny, not because that's the way they believe? Just because you say something doesn't mean you believe that. Where does everybody get this? Like, the sky is green. Oh, that guy's an idiot. The sky is green, and a million people attack him for that shit. Like, nah, man, he was just saying that the sky is green because it was funny at the moment. Whatever the conversation was funny. He was trying to be, or he just said this shit just to get a rise out of people, you know what I'm saying? Because nowadays, we talked about this on an episode. People just say shit just to get a rise out of people. Mm-hmm. They want people to attack them so they can get a million freaking views. They might even not even know what they're talking about. But they see that that's what trending things happen. That's how trending things happen. You do something, or you throw up a picture, or you say something to get a response. And you're trying to get as many people to respond as possible. It don't matter if it's positive, negative. You're just trying to get a response, and that's it. So it's all about the way that people take it. If somebody gets on there and says a bunch of racial slurs on Twitter, and everybody attacks this person, this dude just got 6 million likes on his videos, or 6 million views on his videos, or on it, whatever it is. Like, you helped him. You didn't hurt him, you helped him. And that's what they want. They want that response. So that's why people say all this controversial shit, because they want a response. Just like when people get on and say Darth Vader sucked. You get a million people that's gonna come on TikTok and say, you're an idiot. Darth Vader was great. Oh my God, Darth Vader was the best Sith ever. Blah. They just got a million views. I do it all the time. I ain't gonna lie. I do it all the time. I put up 2 videos.
You be trolling over there, huh? You be trolling.
I put up 2 videos of people shooting Jedis with pistols. Like, and if Jedi ever came to the world, the United States, or our world, they would die because they can't dodge. Lightsabers can't block a bullet. Dude, you know how many? One of them, I think, got 390-some thousand views on that shit. I don't even know how many likes it got. And it had some like freaking out. I stopped even liking the comments because it was too many. I was like, I can't keep up with all this. It's controversial. I knew that people was going to respond to it. I knew people was going to be like, nah, and they was going to argue and thing. I knew that. So that's why I put it up there, because I just wanted a response. And that's all that people are doing. They say shit and they do shit to get a response. And people take this shit so personally. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. There ain't no way that a bullet could kill a Jedi. They'll block it. They can use the Force, blah, 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 blah. Dude, it's just that's the thing. That quick, you can get a negative response or get people arguing just off of one thing. And that's what the government and that's what a lot of people want to happen. So that's why they put that shit up.
So, Tori put, can we just have a purge night, but just towards Karens? Bodhi Collections. I love that. Can we personally just call them Ambers now?
Yes.
Yes.
What Ambers?
Yes.
Oh,
Amber
God.
Heard.
Huh?
Amber Heard.
Yes, I am down with that.
Hey, did you know that they wanted that Elon Musk was supposed to? That Elon Musk used to be with her.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to come on and talk to her, and he was like, dude, no. Now Congress, Elon Musk bought Twitter. Now Congress wants to have a meeting with him like they did with Mark Zuckerberg and the previous owner of Twitter. The previous CEO of Twitter. Now you want to talk to him?
No, you know it ain't going to go well. Elon's going to be like, I'm going to let people say what they want and do what they want. It's a freedom. It's a freedom of speech, and it's a platform
Dude,
that allows freedom.
From my understanding, from what I was hearing on the news, they got 2 new like FBI or
Divisions?
you know like divisions about freedom of speech and truth speaking. Like if something's not true, it's not allowed to be put on social media. It's like, okay, really? When y'all came out with the propaganda law, Obama passed the propaganda law where you can say whatever you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like law against propaganda. Like news outlets don't have to give up their resources or where they got their information no more. So basically, he gave them the right to say whatever they wanted to say. And then you're gonna turn around and now Elon Musk, they kick him off of Twitter, and he buys Twitter, and then they tell him, oh wait a minute, now we got to come up with these divisions that can keep track of everything that's going on. Like, dude, that's so oxymoron. I mean, that's just like, dude, basically you're telling me that all the shit that came out politically in the last couple years since Obama has been just bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's all been bullshit, made up crap. Y'all, none of that shit was true. And now that you got somebody that's out there that's going to allow people to speak their minds and tell the truth about shit, now you got to have someone come in and regulate that shit.
Yeah. You know what? Palpatine for president. Let's fix this.
Yep.
I'm
at that point.
2024. Like, that's where we were at. We're really at, instead of having a dictator, we have dictators. A bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what's happening. All right, let's get to let's
We have
get
a
to
bunch
this
of
quiz.
Palpatines.
Stop right there, you rebel scum. Prepare yourself for the Star Wars Impossible quiz. Blast them.
Okay,
Ready?
before we start, I got something to say. So they have that knee plate on that one leg, but they don't have it on the other. But that one homeboy would be kneeling on just his padding under his armor when he's got a knee plate that he's supposed to knee on so he can shoot better. This is why they aim bad.
What?
They can't even get a proper stance down.
The hell are you talking? What?
Really? You analyzed the
video
Yes,
they
I
made?
did.
It's not even
I am
like
a-
actual.
I
I
am
didn't
a
even
clone.
notice that dude kneeled down. I didn't even
This
pay
is like
attention.
not even the.
And I
this is just
created it,
something
you
he
know what I mean?
made.
Hey, no, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but I was like looking at it because I was like, okay, that is spitting image armor. And I went and like after last week when we did the Impossible quiz, I looked up their armor. They have one knee plate that they're supposed to kneel on so they get a better stance to shoot. But if you watch it,
You
they be
researched
kneeling-
the video? God, oh well, Jesus.
not the video, the armor itself. And like I've watched other forms of it where they have the single knee plate where they're supposed to kneel on it to have a better stance.
Have you
all
seen that
these
video on
stormtroopers-
YouTube? That dude that creates the entire armor, he shows how he creates his entire armor, like film accurate armor. Like that video is like, I watched that thing like 6 times. It is so interesting to watch this dude make the whole armor, like just to make everything piece by piece. It's like one of the most interesting videos that I've ever watched. Like, dude, that's a lot of work.
Yes.
Okay, Kim, before you get started, I got to bring up Tori's comment. She said freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom to be a dick. Yeah, I agree with that.
disagree.
But being a dick sometimes is fun.
I disagree. That's exactly what freedom of speech means.
I think freedom of speech
should
should
be
be
a
like that, though. All right,
think-
Kim, hit us.
Ready? Okay, these might be easy for you guys, and you might have already have done these. So just pretend that I'm a genius. Okay.
Sweet.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
Okay. Lando almost became what character?
Oh.
What character?
Chewbacca.
A Sith Lord.
Mm-mm.
A
Bounty
Sith
hunter.
Lord's dog.
Let me know when you
A
guys are
random
ready.
ass pilot.
No. Close, but no.
Oh, it was
Han
close.
Solo.
Pimp.
Sort of close.
Han Solo.
No.
Star Pimp.
Star pimp.
That was a good one though.
Okay.
Cloud
So
City
he was going to be a clone who survived the Clone Wars.
What?
Why
that's
did they
right.
not do that?
I
Don't
don't
get me
know.
wrong. I
There's
love
supposed to be
Billy
a clone
D.
trooper that survived the Clone Wars. Is that what you
Yeah.
said?
A clone. No, so it's going to be he was supposed to be a clone who survived the Clone Wars.
And all the other clones would have to be black.
Hmm. I don't know. It didn't specify though, like why they changed everything, but they did.
Because that
so.
wouldn't have made sense if they're clones of. Well, I guess that would have been before.
Yep.
Then that would have been real racist. Then they would have really said that George was racist and Lucas was. Why is all the clones and black people? Like, that's so messed up. Like, what are y'all talking about?
Like Maul says, when he talks to he talks to Jesse in Clone Wars, you're just a slave for the Republic. That would have been a way worse scene if they would have all been black. That would have been a way worse scene in Clone Wars. Oh no.
You ready?
Oh, okay, good thing.
Yep.
All right. What Rebels character can be seen in Rogue One only in the background? And it's in the scene where at the. Oh, you know what? What?
Chopper.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Yes, you'll hear Captain Syndulla, please come to the briefing room, and then you see the ghost off in the corner, and you'll see Chopper wheeling by to go to the ghost.
Hmm.
Seriously.
I got to go watch that again. I missed that whole thing. Like, really?
I pay attention.
I pay attention
Yeah,
too,
it's
but
good.
I
When
like
is
to
it?
watch it
Blind-
like
I
10
may be
times.
blind
I'll
in
never
one eye
remember
right
seeing
now.
I
it.
want to watch this. What part?
It's when
It
they go
is. Yeah,
Yavin
the
4.
base.
Okay. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna be so hyper focused now.
All right. What two brothers were cast as stormtroopers in The Last Jedi? They're
Oh,
famous.
oh, why am I spacing this?
Back in
Two
Cody.
brothers, and they're brothers.
They're brothers.
Jake Paul and his brother. I just can't remember his name.
Oh jeez.
It would, no. The
Ain't
Great
it famous?
Conholio. Well, hi for joining us, and you can go to
It's
the store and
probably
buy
someone
some.
like who are famous brothers?
The Russo
Are
brothers?
they royalty, like from Crown or something?
Are they?
Yes, they are. It was a
What are
Harry
their
and his
names?
brother.
Harry and something. What are their
Oh,
names? I don't
yeah.
fucking know. I don't need to
Oh.
know bullshit.
As soon as you said
I'm
that, dude, I
American.
remember JJ Abrams was talking about how
It's
much of
Henry
an honor
Lord.
it was.
No, Harry. It's Harry and
William.
Yes.
William. Yeah.
William.
Yep.
Ah,
Yep.
the brothers from John Wick 2.
All right. What phrase is in every Star Wars movie, but sometimes they switch? They purposely put this phrase in.
May the force be with you.
Mm-mm.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that's fair.
I was gonna say, get your ass out of my way.
No.
No, they said it in every
We
movie.
hear
Somebody
no a
said
lot
no.
in Star Wars. Yeah, that works too.
Boom. Suck it.
In every one of the Star Wars movies, somebody says no.
All right. Who else was up for Woody Harrelson's role in Rogue One?
Man,
It
she
wasn't
taking on the
Rogue One,
audience.
it was Solo, and
Was
it
it?
was
Oh yeah, Solo. Sorry.
it was the guy who plays Batman, Christian Bale. It was originally supposed to be Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm
Yeah.
glad they didn't go with him though.
Yeah,
I would have
think
loved that.
Nah,
I love Woody
Woody's-
Harrelson.
Woody
ain't got that
Harrelson was
Yeah.
I love Woody
wrong
Harrelson.
in that situation.
Yeah.
He was,
But I
his role was
fucking love
perfect.
Christian
It was
Bale.
spot
I
on.
know
I
Christian
love
Bale's
Christian.
awesome, but I'm glad they went with Woody.
Yeah, Woody
One of the
Harrelson
all-time
made
greats.
like he got that comedic stance that they needed
Yeah.
for that part.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think they did a good choice in that one.
Well, Okay, so what band was supposed to be in Attack of the Clones?
In sync.
Yeah, NC. I was gonna say it.
See? You guys know all these. You guys know all these.
Oh no, I'm in the lead right now. What you talking about?
You are. You are. You are. Okay. Which X-wing pilot besides Luke survived all 3 major battles?
Wedge.
Wedge Antilles.
Mhm.
We all knew the answer.
said
That's
first.
Wedge. Wedge is dope.
Listen,
Wedge is an animal, man. He a real X-wing pilot.
I said it
I
first.
did. I didn't want to go
It's
too
the
crazy.
point,
with these.
Garrison.
All right, I got one more, but this one's kind of like everybody knows this. It was
Okay.
Yoda was originally going to be played by what? Everybody knows that.
A
monkey.
chimpanzee.
Yeah, it was a monkey with a mask and a cane.
Chimpanzee's cool.
That-
Was
I'm
it
sorry,
a
that would've
monkey
been
or a
kinda cool,
chimpanzee?
though.
They said it was a monkey.
Oh, really?
Well, it doesn't matter because
my bad.
monkeys and chimpanzees.
Yeah,
and
they're
all
like the
will-
same.
No,
They get-
chimpanzees are not monkeys. Chimpanzees are apes.
They'll rip your face off and shit. Did y'all see that on
Yes.
Facebook?
I
that
want a
monkey
pet
rips that dude's hair
chimpanzee.
off, like just rips
I
his
want a
freaking
pet
hair off.
chimpanzee so bad.
I wonder if it was probably that was probably when they was talking to Michael.
Yeah, no,
And
they
was,
warned
they
Michael.
were trying to
about
get
that.
Michael to come in and play in a Star Wars, and they was probably trying to get Bubbles to come in, but Bubbles was on crack then, so they couldn't get him to do the part.
But those were all the ones that
Very
I
well.
had.
Very
All right,
well.
who's doing it next week?
I'll
Whose
do
turn
it.
is it? Okay.
You'll do it. Okay.
Yep.
The week after next, we're gonna do another round of y'all. Everybody put the questions in the chat.
I love it.
Y'all try to stump us.
I love
Y'all
it.
had Chris, you had some good questions last time, and I know other people
Yeah.
didn't get a chance.
Yeah,
'cause,
come on, Bodie.
Yeah, everybody come up with questions, and then y'all gonna ask the questions next time. And we're
Yeah,
gonna say
Obi
here,
Sean. I'm gonna. I haven't seen you in the chat in a minute, but yeah, Obi Sean, I'm gonna find you where you at. Right
we're
there.
gonna- yeah, we're definitely everybody come up, and y'all create the answer. So not this weekend, but next week, or not next weekend, not the next Saturday, but the following Saturday after that. So what Saturday is it? What's the date on that? Let me look that up so I can give out accurate information here. So the weekend of the 14th, May 14th, is going to be. Put your question in the chat. Try to stump LSR.
Put your question in the chat. We're
We
gonna make
actually
a
gonna
jingle.
name the episode that. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna name the episode that. The messed up thing about it, like I was really like this one stumped me because I was like, dude, how can I word this right so it's a question? Like, dude, what? Like, how am I going to
Jedi. What?
Dick Sensei? What the fuck? Hey, I'm hoping I'm saying your name right. Is that Sensei? Is that what that says?
Sensei.
Sensei.
I think
Jedi
the middle
Dick
word is
Sensei.
pronounced dyke, but that's okay. I'm just kidding.
You are not the father.
You're not the father.
You are not the father.
We're getting punked.
All
So
I
that
hear,
was
all I
good.
hear is that dinosaur thing. Not the mama. That's all I'm hearing right now.
Not the mama. Oh, I got stuck on the Linda thing the other day. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. Listen. Listen, Linda. I just kept saying that all day.
Oh shit.
All right. Well, anything else?
Oh, I think that's unless you got something else crazy to say.
Bro, I'm about to pass out because I am.
Oh, I know you're sick, poor baby, and you had
Pool day
finals,
for us again.
and you had to go to work, and you're married. You just have a full plate.
Every time I hear "I am your father," I think of Bruce from Finding Nemo. I never knew my father.
What?
No, why
Oh,
was
this
I
is why I
watching?
love you.
Why was I watching the Fluffy
Fish
movie
are
last night?
friends. No.
Dude, y'all gotta watch the Fluffy movie. Man, when he's talking about meeting his father, and all he's gonna do, and then his father's just like him, and he's like, "Oh shit, this is bad." Like I wanted to punch you in the face, but I can't. That shit is hilarious. That dude is funny as shit. All right. So I
love
think
y'all.
that's it for everybody. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, click that bell for notification, and give this video a thumb up. It helps us get these videos out to more people. And till Wednesday, other than CJ, which might pop in. Hopefully
I'm still
he
gonna
pops
pop in. I'm gonna pop in.
We'll see you then. May the force be with you.
Thank you for tuning in to LSR. If you've enjoyed the show, consider subscribing so you can be notified when new episodes are released. If you would like to be a guest on the show or just want to give us some feedback, feel free to email us. You can also reach out to us on all major social media platforms. LightSaber Radio is produced by Pickfilm Media and is a Swaycast original, starring Kim Lanise, Garrison Turcott, CJ Elliott, and Kyle McDaniel. And don't forget to join us next time for more adventures in a galaxy far, far away.